The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Say, oh, so you fixed all the problems and now it's all good and everything's good and it's warm and you're not freezing and it's all good. Wrong? Oh, that's a pretty sweet earth, you might say. Wrong? Anybody remember that gem? God, it used to be just so simple. E-Bomb's World. Stick figure death. Come on, man. It all used to be so simple. Anyway. No, I'm still freezing my ass off. Still real cold in here. But we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work today. We're going to make it work tomorrow. We're going to make it work. Oh, yeah. Homestar Runner. Hell yeah, dude. Truck door! And Strong Bad. I got like 16 inches of snow in Indiana over the last couple of days. Back sore as hell from shoveling. Yeah, you don't need a shovel for that. You need like some kind of device, some kind of mechanical thing. I don't know what they're called, but you need that. Zach, what up? Thanks for the 5, man. Says, ain't no party like a Nerdventure party. Customer, a Nerdventure party don't stop. I have thought about E-Bomb's World in years, bro. Much love. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, how are you guys all doing? A snowblower? No, like you need like a bobcat or something, man, you know? You need something with a little bit of oomph. Get out there and get that snow. How are you guys doing? You surviving and all that? One Piece shirt goes hard. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's a Christmas sweater, actually. Because I'm so damn cold. Jarring, frozen. No, I'm frozen. But not like that. There's no lag. I'm just frozen like a goddamn ice cube. Or an icicle. We're doing okay. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Actually, to be completely frank, I'm feeling really good. Took a couple of days off streaming, and it was fantastic. It was absolutely incredible. Good for the soul, but it was also cold as hell. Obviously, a lot of snow and trying to deal with all of that and make sure the family's good and everything like that. And yeah, so we're all good over here. The 10-second glitch is back. Ain't no way. What does that mean? The 10-second glitch. What does that mean? The 10-second glitch. I don't have any notifications of any issues. You sure it's not you? Are you sure it's not every 10 seconds you glitch, Carl? Are you sure your brain doesn't have a glitch, dog? Yeah, what glitch, Carl? What glitch are you talking about, dog? Stand on business, Carl! Anyway. OMGC89 says, what do you think of the new Daredevil trailer? Jessica Jones gave me all the Netflix vibes. Yeah, we're going to start there. We'll go over it. We'll react to it. We'll break it down. I think it looks good. It's kind of an odd trailer, though, huh? Mine glitches too. I got the glitch delays too. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I really don't see any issues on my end. I could always try to restart the stream and see if that fixes it, maybe, if it's really bad for folks. I'd prefer to do that. You know, to be honest, though, like, you guys had some of you guys had an issue with glitching last time, and like when I went back and checked the clips and everything, so like there's a little bit of buffering there. I can see a little bit of whatever, but when I checked the clips last time, it was good. It was fine. So I don't know. It could be a YouTube thing. It could be an internet thing. It could be interdimensional beings are trying to cause us all to live in a constant state of anxiety and depression and anger so that they can skim our loosh off and use it as some kind of resource. Stream is streaming seamlessly. Oh, hell yeah. I'm glitching. Dude, I'm about to glitch. Hey, speaking of glitches, what the fuck is going on in the world? Is it just me, or does shit feel like insane? We're 27 days into the year. It feels like it's been a decade. What is happening? And look, I got a lot of silver, but silver being that high is not a good thing. What the fuck is happening? It's crazy. Yeah, things are pretty tense, and things are all kinds of crazy and heated up. And on top of that, there's another storm on the way. Another storm on the way this weekend. Well, you guys seen that meme with the guy from the Truman Show that's like, now do this, now do that. It's like, now hit him with another storm. Now jolt silver and gold to record highs and cause panic in the markets. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It really does feel like we're just getting fucked with. Comics and everything with a $5 holla says, read anything interesting in the last couple of days. Oh, no. You're probably referencing your script and your comic that you sent me, and I apologize. I actually completely forgot about that. But what I can do for chat is I can throw your Patreon link into the chat here. I hope I'm doing the right thing here. I hope that you are the person that just sent this chat. Guys, if you want to go support an independent comic book done by a friend of the channel, go check out that Patreon link. That's kind of like the way she's trying to get support, get funding for this. So go check it out if you're interested in, guys. Boom. I'll throw that in there. But no, I did not read your script. I apologize. I'd like to read it. You know, I've been working on some scripting for Unity, actually. And so it would be cool to kind of look at your stuff as I'm in that kind of writer mode. But no, I unfortunately didn't look. Love the song choice for the Daredevil trailer. Song choice is interesting, man. I don't know what to think of it. What did you guys think of the trailer? We're going to get into it. I think the trailer is doing a good job of sort of... like, I'm excited, you know, and I think they're signaling to people like me, like, oh, no, it's actually for real going to be different this time. Don't worry, we're going to get into the whole thing with Daredevil board again. But it is kind of a strange trailer. I'm not sure what vibe they're trying to sell us on exactly. You know? Like, it almost seems like the trailer was too fun. And Daredevil, to me, while definitely a fun show, sort of lives and breathes off of the tension, the drama, the guilt. It's all about that Catholic guilt, man. Matt's Catholic guilt is so useful as a story device. I mean, half the show is him bitching to the father, right? Didn't necessarily move the needle for me. Yeah, it's an interesting one. We'll get into it. We'll watch it. We'll go over it. Who's excited for Wonder Man today? It is kind of wild that they dropped the Daredevil trailer the day Wonder Man comes out, dude. Holy shit. Talk about mixed signals. So is Wonder Man like the next best thing and it's awesome? Or is Wonder Man like, let's drop the Daredevil trailer. Let's get him talking about something else, you know? I thought, frankly, they were going to drop this trailer tomorrow. I thought what they would do is drop the Wonder Man show, and then as the discourse was starting about that, then like drop the trailer. That's kind of been the pattern that we've seen when Marvel. It's actually like, I think they did this when Daredevil was kind of getting shit on. Didn't they drop like a different trailer? And everybody got all excited about that. That's a very Marvel thing. They just like to keep the conversation moving. I think particularly when they think the discourse is not going to be great. Which is kind of wild, because a lot of people that have watched Wonder Man seem to really enjoy it. And now whack, Beatbox says the trailer was mid. Oh no! Anybody else agree with that? Anybody else think the trailer was mid? I've seen good reviews for Wonder Man, but I'm skeptical. Look, all I can do is just be honest with where I'm at with this. Some people get so mad at me because, like, I don't know, man. I don't really consider myself like a reviewer. I don't feel a responsibility to watch any of this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I know some people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you're a Marvel content creator. You should be watching all this stuff. I just legit don't. Like, I feel zero obligation or even draw or interest in watching that show. You know what I mean? Like, and even now with people saying like, oh, dude, it's so good, or this, that, second, I truly do not care. Like, I just don't care. And that's all. I just can be honest about it, you know? I've been working all morning. Haven't got a chance to watch it yet. Which, the Daredevil trailer? Oh, we'll watch it. We'll watch it together. They removed everything about Simon Williams from the character. Yeah, it kind of seems like that, but also, like, who gives a shit about Simon Williams? I mean, I know for some fans, you know, the older stuff with Scarlet Witch and Wonder Man and Vision is kind of interesting. And there's some cool stuff there, and Wonder Man's fun. But, like, dude, Rick Jones is way fucking cooler than Wonder Man, dog. You know, like, why don't we have a Rick Jones show? Where the fuck is Rick Jones in the MCU, now that I think about it? 10-second glitch is happening to me, too. Big dog. Hey, big dog. I don't know what to do for you, dude. I really don't. Kalen is going to cry when he hears this. Why? Was he pretty hyped on the show? Is he pretty hyped on the show? I try not to judge based on my interest level. I'll give it a shot. What do you mean, like the product? Yeah, I mean, I'm not judging the show. Like I said, it could be incredible. I just don't care. Like, I don't know, man. I just got to be honest. Like, I'm not here when it comes to, you know, my superhero shit. Like, I'm just not necessarily in it to go watch some character study, meta commentary, you know, show with Trevor Slattery. Like, that's the least appealing shit I can imagine. I would honestly rather have watched Miss Marvel season 1 than Wonder Man. Like, who cares? Who cares? Have you heard that Sadie could be playing the Scarlet Witch's disciple? What do you mean, from like the fucking internet? Like Twitter? Reddit? Some other internet bullshit? Yeah, I heard all about it. It's probably true. Who the fuck is Rick Jones? Exactly, Charlie. But here's the thing. That we say that a lot. You know, who the fuck is Wonder Man? But the difference between Wonder Man and Rick Jones is that Rick Jones is actually like that fucking guy, dude. He's awesome. He's like this weird, mysterious character that just is always like kind of there and yet gets ungodly amounts of power multiple times in the comics. Really, really interesting cat. Yeah, we should do a whole thing on Rick Jones. Wonder Man will be better than Warhammer. See, you guys are already trying. You're already starting. I took 2 streams off. Mental health, peak. Feeling so good. I feel fresh. Oh, invigorated. And you got to start with that bullshit right away? You got to start trying to trigger Josh right away? We can't have one day, half a day, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5, 30 seconds? Where we're just chilling? Spider-Man trailer coming today. No, I don't think so, but you know what? This is kind of interesting with regards to this. So there was a report that from one of the people that I think is actually good. And the report was that the marketing for Daredevil, Punisher, and Spider-Man might kind of happen back to back to back to back. And they might be doing something unique with the trailers and unique with the marketing, just like they do with the Doomsday marketing. That would be cool. If that happened, then I don't know. What does that mean? Maybe a Punisher trailer tomorrow? Then maybe the following day we get that Daredevil trailer or the Spider-Man trailer? That could be pretty cool. That could be pretty cool. All right, so I think it's time, man. Let's get into the stuff here with the trailer. I think, the Dragon Ball back though. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk Dragon Ball. Don't worry, I've got some things to say about that. I'm actually pretty hyped. I'm pretty hyped about that Dragon Ball shit, man. Happy for Danny too. Geekdom 101. You know, Danny and I don't know if I ever told you guys this. Some of you probably know, but during lockdown in 2020, Geekdom and I, we had never had a phone call before. We kind of like just talked on Twitter here and there. We literally we went on the phone for 5 hours. We were just getting absolutely baked as a cake, ripped out of our minds. And we just shot the shit for like 5+ hours. We did a school day of just hanging out and talking shit and talking about life and whatever. It was awesome. It was awesome. Love that guy. Okay, how... I feel like I had a great setup over here for the trailers and whatnot, and then I feel like I screwed it all up. Let me see if I can just change this here. Maybe what we do is we just do that. I think that's the move. Does that look good, y'all? What am I asking chat for? Y'all don't know nothing. All right. All right, we've got the Daredevil Born. I almost said bored. Born Again, Season 2 trailer. We've been like, where the fuck is this trailer? Seriously, where this thing comes out next month or 2 months? What the hell? Here we go. We finally got it. Let's watch it one time through, then we'll kind of break it down, okay? Oh, wait, that's not the front. That's not the beginning. Fading to black is really cool. Probably like a whole sign of what's going to be happening with his suit. Getting him to the Shadowland suit. So yeah, that's the trailer. Look, I had a good reaction to this. I'm excited about the contents of this trailer, but there's something weird about this trailer, dude. Like, chat, am I crazy or is there something weird about this trailer? Like, there's like something about it, man. I don't know. Okay, but let's kill the music. Let's just kind of break it all down. So we start with like a literal record drop. Looks like Karen and Matt reminiscing, enjoying some nice time together. Got Bullseye. He's free. And he's getting a sundae with a cherry on top. Oh, I wonder if he'll kill somebody with that cherry, yeah? Wouldn't that be nuts? Wouldn't that be nuts? He literally killed somebody with a cherry? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. The Anti-Vigilante Task Force. This looks like some propaganda here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe this is an actual shot where the AVTF is, having a good time here. But I got to tell you, I this rings of propaganda to me. You know, all the happy faces, kids juggling, doing bullshit, Mayor Fisk's shit in the background. Yeah. Look at that. They're all so happy. They're fucking doubt it, dog. Aaron and him in love. And what is this? The aspect ratio shuts down to like a 4x4 here. And it looks like he's being hit with some kind of weapon or something. Very, very interesting here. I don't know what it symbolizes. I have no idea what it could be. Maybe there's some kind of villain that has a weapon. Maybe the Department of Damage Control has some kind of weapon that affects Matt or something like that. Or maybe he's a Steelers fan. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really know. Seems to really have affected him, though. There's something, of course, going on. What the fuck is this? Mayor Kingpin. So somebody's fooling around with like some masks, doing some weirdo video type things. Who could that be? I don't know. And then of course you got Fisk laughing it up. Oh, Damage Control! Look, that guy's back. He's in movies. You've seen him before. Matt Murdock's missing. Ruh-roh, Raggy. And then we get the entrance of Jessica. Now, dude, I fucking love Jessica Jones, man. We've got like a lot of bullshit female characters that were written into comics like yesterday by people that are not that great. Jessica Jones is not one of those fucking people, dude. This is a Bendis character, long history in the comic books, and actually a pretty goddamn good show on Netflix. I always bring up the first season of Netflix's Jessica Jones as a sort of proof positive that you can literally be woke as fuck and not go broke, because that show has all the things, all the trappings that the anti-woke people get all super mad about, and yet it is fucking awesome, absolutely compelling, incredible villain, characters that are complex. It's incredible. I really like season 1 of Jessica Jones. It kind of falls off from there, to be honest. It's not that great at season 2 and all that, but it just such a good character. It's so stupid that we didn't bring her back like much faster and do much more with her. Seriously cool character. Way better than all these other stupid female anyway, cool. I'm glad she's back. Oh, you just got hit in the dome by, wait, Daredevil? Yeah, kind of looks like it. Fighting against the anti-vigilante task force. He's helping somebody up. I don't know who. There's the black suit shot. With the double Ds. The double Ds are out. Letting the girls out. Karen looks good, too. Very intense. Obviously, I'm glad that she's back. Fuck! The ex-girlfriend, or the girlfriend of Matt in the first season. Who's the chick? Who's the chick in the first season? Who's the chick in the first season that was terrible and told Daredevil that she saved herself? Heather. This fucking bitch, Heather. Hope she's not in this trailer. Anti-vigilante task force coming in on somebody's house? What the hell? Looks like a suburban home. She's hit. One of the standouts. Season 1 to me was fucking goobly glob. I hated season 1. But this guy, it's not bad. The guy on the right, he was actually one of the standouts. He's actually one of the characters I thought was I don't know who he's boxing here. I don't know what's up with that. That looks like more propaganda. So, what? Oh, no! Is this fucking Heather? Is this Heather? Yeah. Gandolfini's kid. Dude, he actually did pretty good. I actually really liked him. Okay, so why? Okay, Marvel. Allow me to help you with this problem. The way you fix this problem is you retcon Heather so that she was some kind of sleeper cell agent from the Hand or some advanced organization, and her absolutely absurd hounding and psychoanalyzing and gaslighting of Matt was actually a true psyop. It was actually a real villain, not just the villain of whatever ridiculous ass writer thought this was acceptable in my goddamn Daredevil show. Get it out of my face. So if you retcon that and you make her into some kind of a true villain that had nefarious intent from the beginning, then maybe I could stomach it. Another way you solve this problem is have Daredevil bust into this room and shoot her, I don't know, 18 times. And be like, you didn't save yourself that time, did you, bitch? And then walk out. So, pick your poison. Get creative. But this is terrible. This is the worst shot I've ever seen in anything. My God. Okay, so going back to Guantanamo Bay here, we have all these vigilantes that are in cages. And we'll probably just leave it there. Okay, let's keep going. Riots. Yeah, that shit was propaganda. This is propaganda. This ain't happening. And they're still wearing the Punisher logo? Get the fuck out of here. Wait. This guy? This guy's back? Whoa, okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, but there is something here, though. So what's this? So it looks like some kind of training with Karen. This is only acceptable if Karen is being trained to beat the shit out of Heather. You know what I mean? That could work. Interesting. And then Foggy's back. It's crazy. They just show him. They just straight up show him. He's back. Probably one of the worst kept secrets in all of fandom. Foggy's coming back. They're obviously doing some weird retcon shit where he was in witness protection or something. There's actually precedence for this. There are clues and teases in the first season of Daredevil. Nobody knows about it though because nobody watched the show. Seriously, the viewership of Daredevil season 1 was abysmally bad. And it deserved that. It was so ass in my opinion. But that's okay, because Foggy's back. Literally, this whole trailer is just like, we're sorry. Like, it's like that South Park thing, like, Foggy's back. We're sorry. Karen's back. We're sorry. There's actual violence, and Daredevil has the double Ds. We're sorry. Like, that's what this trailer feels like. Good action there. Seems fun. What the fuck is up with that smile, though? What is happening here? Like, what? Like, seriously. I don't understand, dog. I really don't understand that. Hang on, I gotta see this again. He's fighting all these guys. I mean, the action looks cool there. The fuck is that, dude? Screw you, I like season 1. That's okay, David. You can like terrible ass, boring ass, one of the worst fumbles, fucking enragingly bad. I had one of the craziest crash outs, horrible ass, stupid ass Heather, positive bullshit version of Daredevil board against season 1. It's a free country for now. And you can like it. It's fine. Logo. So cool. March 24th. We have a release date. Okay, that's cool. A little bit later than maybe we were expecting, but I think this will end up being fine. Okay, so that's like the basic breakdown of the whole thing here, guys. What are your questions? What are your thoughts? Is there something I missed in the trailer? What do you think's going on in this shot? What do you think's going on with this shot? Interesting. Bring Muse back. Unless I'm mistaken, wasn't it explained in comics that Muse was like an Inhuman? And he had an ability to come back to life or something like that? It's Gaia? Jesus, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Inhuman, yeah. Why is he having issues? Well, sometimes you're ready to go, and it's just a mental thing, anxiety or whatever. You know what I mean? It happens to everybody. Yeah, but I don't know what's going on with him here. I don't know why he's having an issue. It seems like this is either a weapon or this is like a weaponized super soldier of some kind. You know, maybe a mutant, maybe an Inhuman, maybe some kind of Project X bullshit. I don't know. When do you think the Punisher special comes out? Ooh, that's a good question. I would say fairly close to Spider-Man, actually. A sound weapon. Oh, okay, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Heather infected him. Yeah, I mean, this is basically what happened to me every time Heather was on screen. What's happening to Matt here, but yeah. I think it's a weapon to mess with his mind because it cuts to Mayor Fisk, which is interesting. Yeah. I wonder how they're going to do all this. You know, I'll tell you a couple rumors. I'll tell you, like, we can bullshit a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I missed your super chat. Let me see here. Are you member chat? Let me see what's going on here. Beep Kinraid says, Josh, could the Green Flash be Doom or something tied in with Spider-Man and Doomsday? P.S. I've heard Josh wears ultramarine pajamas. Nah, man, I mean, maybe there's a Josh out there that does wear ultramarine pajamas, but he should have his name changed. Just like Josh Allen should have his name changed. I don't want that shit representing me. This is whack. And then as far as the Doom thing, I don't think so, bro. Maybe, but I highly doubt it. Let's talk about some rumors. Can I talk about some rumors? Can I talk about just a little bit of rumorage, leakage kind of stuff here? So, we know, I mean, I think you all know that the Daredevil show went through a lot of changes, right? So they obviously did the big revamp where they like go home Rogered everybody and, you know, rewrote a bunch. They bring in all new directors. And I like the directors, the guys they brought on. And so there were like a lot of changes made to the show. And then there were a lot of ideas and things they were trying and maybe playing around with. And then it gets changed and then codified by them actually like putting it out and everything. But I think there's just a lot happened with regards to the show and how they changed it. I frankly don't think they changed the first season enough. That's like one of my big complaints. But within that whole time period, I remember being told that Jessica Jones was the original, like, MacGuffin slash, like, she was going to sort of replace what Punisher was in the initial version of the show. And it had something to do with the Purple Man. Okay? Now, the Purple Man, who you should watch Jessica Jones season 1. You don't even have to admit that I'm right about the woke shit, and it's really good. You don't have to tell all your friends, though, just fucking watch it. It's really good. But the Purple Man is the main villain of that season, and he's absolutely incredible. But in comics, the Purple Man and his children do play a role in the Devil's Reign event, unless I'm mistaken. It has something to do with how Fisk was able to, take over. I don't remember the exact details, but I just remember that the children of the Purple Man were somewhat important to that. And so it could be the case that maybe that's why Jessica is a part of this thing. But she seems to just show up. So maybe they're just going to streamline that, make it a vigilante thing. She's like, this is fucked up. But, Jessica's kind of an interesting character. She basically, doesn't want to get involved any time and doesn't want any of the drama or anything like that. So for her to get involved would take some kind of catalyst. And I'm interested to see what that is. So that's just something that was kind of floating around out there with Jessica specifically. Now, I also heard that they had to change the show because she wasn't available, or there was a negotiation problem, and they were like, okay, well, we'll just do the Punisher thing. And even that Punisher stuff gets changed a lot. Look, I'll tell you this. Even though Marvel will not admit it, I think if you look at Captain America Brave New World and you look at Daredevil Born Again season 1, it is pretty fucking obvious that they took a lot of explicit political shit out. Okay? And I think Punisher was going to be way more overtly anti-cop and, all of these different things. And I think they literally changed that. I think they changed it. I think they pulled back on that. I think they took a lot of inflammatory political stuff out of Captain America Brave New World as well. Marvel won't admit it, but I'm pretty sure that's something that was going on there. So I don't know. I wonder how they're going to pick those threads up in season 2. We've seen some set photos from the filming of season 2, which look fucking incredible, and the action seems really dialed up, and it seems like they are going to go in that direction of the ninjas and whatnot. And I believe Daniel RPK just recently said that you're going to have the Hand play a role in season 3 of Daredevil Born Again. That's kind of interesting. I didn't even know season 3 was hard confirmed, but there has been discussions of it. Vincent talked about it a little bit. So people have talked about season 3. Yeah, I'm interested in how this whole plot will go, because it's anti-vigilante. You got the stuff going on with Punisher and the crime family. You're doing Mayor Fisk. The rumors are there will be another candidate in this season. I would imagine a lot of the propaganda that I pointed out in the trailer, basically all the shots with the kids being happy, talking to the fucking agents and shit. This is all for commercials. This is probably for the mayoral campaign or the re-election campaign for Fisk or whatnot. And so he'll probably have an opponent, and I wonder if Fisk will still be the mayor by the time we even get to Spider-Man. That's an interesting question. And then what's going on with the third season of Daredevil, and are we going to watch Matt kind of slip into ruling over the Hand like he did in Shadowland? That to me would be so cool, right? I would be so psyched if we got into some of the stuff with the Beast and Matt being possessed, and essentially Matt becomes the leader of the Hand and he uses them to police New York. In the comics, this is so wild that basically all the Avengers and everybody that are in New York are this is a fucking problem. And it just it goes from there. That would be cool. That's something I'm hoping for. I don't think you can jump right into that, but they are sort of laying the groundwork here for Matt's morality to come a little untethered, to fray a bit, and potentially lead him down a darker path, which I love that shit. That's always really, really cool. So I don't know. I don't know how the other characters will be there. I've heard maybe some of these other characters will even pop up in Spider-Man's movie. That's kind of interesting. So wonder if this is all being built to sort of show New York as a big Game of Thrones-esque playground for the multiple factions and characters and Avengers in the MCU that live in New York City. New York City is a hot spot, of course, for the superheroes in Marvel Comics, right? A lot of the big ones are there. So wonder if we'll get a little bit more of that explored. As a small aside to this, there's word that Sony and Marvel are going to start playing a little bit more nice. And if that is the case, we could potentially see a Spider-Man, even if it's a small cameo or something short, show up on a Disney Plus show. And I think that would be cool, because otherwise, what the fuck are these shows? So, yeah, I don't know. I guess the big question here is Daredevil Born Again Season 1 was what it was. As the homie pointed out, some people really enjoyed it. I think other commentators really enjoyed it. Like, I heard John Campea really enjoyed Born Again Season 1. I don't know for sure, but y'all are always in here yapping about John. And I'm pretty sure he really enjoyed it. I think a lot of other people that are hardcore enjoyed it. But look, facts are facts, man. This thing did not chart. And literally Mobland charted during this duration while they were both airing. That's embarrassing. Like, that's embarrassing for Marvel. Invincible charted twice, and Daredevil did not chart. Like, Daredevil's viewership must have been so fucking bad. And there were a lot of questions on, would there be a season 3? Like, what's going on here? Marvel kind of said, you know, Daredevil's one of our really good characters. Even though this underperformed, we think maybe that's more the state of the industry and the fatigue. And we think if we just do better with Daredevil, we can rehabilitate the character and continue on with this series. I am all for that. I am all for that. But what that means is, for a lot of fans, they either didn't watch Daredevil or they watched a little bit of it and checked the fuck out. That is reflected in the Nielsen numbers, right? So what does this season do? How does this season perform? And man, they got some competition, dude. They got some crazy competition. The Invincible shit seems out of control right now. It seems so damn cool. The Boys is going to be coming out around the same time. I don't know. We're going to see here. For me as a fan, this trailer seems to have a lot of stuff that I like, right? It's winking behind the camera at me. It's saying, like, we're sorry, as I said before. Is that going to be enough for other people? To what degree does the show have to be spectacle to get people excited and get people to check it out? We're going to find all of that out, and we're going to find it out together. But what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts, huh? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer? Chat! Oh, good to see you. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's good to be back. I was really enjoying the time off. I had a lot, my mental felt great, but my ego was dying. I was like, no, I need to go stand in front of the camera and everybody listen to me. The narcissist in me was like, dude, you better get fucking back to streaming. There's a part of me though that was like, dude, I'm fuck streaming, dude. I'm good. I would like to read books. I like to meditate. I like to paint my little Warhammer figures, but it is what it is. I just want to kick ass action, baby. Yeah. I think we need that. The first season was severely missing action. There's a couple cool scenes here and there, but just didn't do it for me. That first episode of Daredevil was lit. Like, I truly thought that was incredible. Even though it uses archival footage and stuff like that, I thought it was pretty good. I want to see Heather's arc. I mean, this is a family show, but she looks to be in incredible shape, so I bet the arc is pretty good. Unity update? No update today, sir. Heather with the heart emojis. Jesus Christ. What a coincidence. I had no one to listen to the whole time. Oh, well, there you go, man. There you go. I'm kind of more interested in Wonder Man. Ain't no way, dog. The fuck happened to this world, man? Ain't no way. I only have Marvel to blame for this. They fucked this up, in my opinion. And again, it's so, I don't like doing this, guys, because there's so much good stuff happening, and I'm really excited, and I'm trying to be positive, and I think they might have turned this around. But I I feel the ADD pulling me in. And the hyperfixation on like, hey, do you all recognize that the first season was not that good? And it's all Marvel's fault for selling us on this creative overhaul when it was basically the same show as before? I feel the draw. I feel the need to hyperfixate and focus on that fact because it pissed me off to no end. But we're not going to do that because it's 2026. It's a new year. It's a new me. Anyway, except season 2 is fantastic. Wait, what season 2? It's your fault. I didn't hype it up. You did. Yeah, that's fair. I remember. It says the emancipating poet. Okay, that's fair. I'll hold the L on that. I got fucking bamboozled. Okay? What do you want me to say? Okay, they did a whole article. They did this whole spread. Vincent D'Onofrio and fucking blanking on his name, Matt Murdock, homie. Charlie Cox. Out there talking about it. They're like, yeah, basically the first version of the show was poopy toilet paper. And now it's a golden platter of cocktail shrimp with the horseradish to the perfect degree in the cocktail sauce. So it's like real spicy, but not too much. They did it. Okay. And I believed it. I kind of like season 1 personally. Ain't no way. Who are these people? Explain yourself. Could the weird smile be a sign of possession? Ooh. Now you're cooking. Yeah, that could be. That's kind of cool. What did you think of the 2 last episodes in DD Born Again? So I don't quite remember how the last 2 episodes go exactly. But what I do remember is feeling that somehow, some way, they actually brought the thing home at a place where I was interested in season 2. So I can acknowledge that it sort of brought it home. But like, dude, there's a lot of shit at the end of that show that like people went nuts for that I thought was stupid as fuck. Like the whole dance partner scene and then he gets shot and Matt, like it's just, I really did not like. But at that point, to be honest with you, I had already crashed out. I had already basically freaked out on the show and I was fucking mad as shit. So maybe I wasn't just going in with, no baggage. At that point, I was pretty pissed already. Christian says, thought the trailer was solid, excited for Marvel moving forward, still have no idea what the fuck Wonder Man is supposed to be. Nerd Avengers for life. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Wonder Man, it feels like they cooked. I mean, I know Destin's awesome. Like, there's a lot of cool people behind it. But I don't care. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. I just don't fucking care. You know? I don't know, man. There's nothing there. I'm not watching my superhero shit to have some kind of like really interesting exploration through the medium of cinema of some kind of like, nah, dog. That dude in the underwear should smash this dude in the armor really fucking hard. And look, it's not exactly that, but frankly, it's pretty much exactly like that. I want to take the toys and smash them together. Okay? I'm good on that. Like, yeah. So you want slop? No, I don't want slop. I demand slop, especially over this shit. The fuck out of here. I demand it. The fuck are we talking about? They're superheroes. They sell action figures. They don't sell therapy figures. What is wrong with this generation? It's my therapy figures. Matt, you realize your trauma is rip her fucking head off of the therapy doll and fucking throw it. Like, no. Can we get Danny on a call to tackle the Dragon Ball news? Yeah, I don't know what Danny's doing. I could hit him up sometime. I thought about hitting him up, You can have both. Yeah, you can, but if I have to choose, I'm choosing slop all day. Like, I don't care, dude. Dude, you don't like stories. You don't like an elevated fucking... No, like, dude, I've seen and read incredible things that explore little intricate ideas and get all cute and philosophical. Like, I'm into that shit, too. But at a certain level, when I'm watching superhero content, I want them to beat the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think I am. I think a lot of people feel similarly. Like, you know, you want emotional resonance for sure, and you want to be able to, like, attach yourself to a character. Ultimately, I think it's like, it's two basic things. It's like, you want to feel smart and know that things are happening and know that things are coming. That's actually a lot of what foreshadowing actually is. It's just like throwing a line to people so that they can be brought along and feel really smart. And the other thing is you want things to feel like cathartic. So if there's a villain, you want to want the villain to lose. You want to want the hero to win. And it's like, it's not fucking rocket science. I think that these things should be what they are. Yeah, and I think I truly think that the first season of Daredevil Born Again is legitimately the wrong way to make content with a character like Daredevil, especially when you consider where the audience is at. You know? Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Superhero stuff in your superhero show? Wild take, Josh. Yeah, I know. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Wonder Man sounds lame AF. Never heard of her. Not interested. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, that's a pretty good half-hour segment. Jesus, I can't believe we yapped about that for a half hour. I'm going to have to edit that shit down. Okay. You guys having fun? Is it good to be back? Is it good to be back in the tower, baby? Should we just talk about Warhammer now? Should we just flip the script? Make it a pure Warhammer stream? Any of you guys been getting into Warhammer lately? Anybody? Also, High Guard, huh? Let's talk just a little bit about, oh, you're playing Space Marine right now? Nice. Dude, what's up with High Guard, y'all? Is that like the biggest, stupidest, overhyped piece of dog shit ever, or am I ridiculous? Did any of you guys check out High Guard yesterday? Born Again greater than all Warhammer? That's just hating. That is standard haterade right there, yeah. I tried High Guard yesterday. It's boring. Buns. They should cast Heather as a female custodian. God damn it, Philip. Wow, that's pretty good rage bait. I'm not going to lie. I am contemplating playing Space Marine 2 on Xbox because of you, Josh. Yeah, it's on Game Pass now, so free of cost over on the Xbox. I would check it out for sure. It's just, like, awesome. Makes you feel like a badass. You know? Makes you feel great. Super fun. Dense lore. It's pretty great. Pretty good. Flop guard? Yeah, it kind of seems like it. I just don't get it. Like, it looks... To me, I think High Guard is attempting to be too cute from a design perspective. When you can't even fucking explain what the game is without referencing, like, 4 other kinds of games, you're probably fucked up, frankly. And also, I think the art design is a huge mistake. Dude, I think people are over these hyper-stylized, poppy color, bullshit characters, dude. It feels so safe. It feels so fucking generic. To me, I look at High Guard, and, like, I have, like, a... like, I'm like, like, and it would have, in my mind, it would have to be so fucking cool, so revolutionary, so on point to get me to overcome that feeling. That's what Fortnite is. Like, Fortnite is goofy and silly and ridiculous, but they've been cooking. Fortnite is, like, does crazy stuff. You've got to give it up to Fortnite. Like, they really do add constant content, incredible collaborations, you know, fun new modes, the creator mode, zero build. I mean, dude, Fortnite has been very innovative. They've been on top of their game. To me, the only reason I would ever play Fortnite is because it's literally so good at a fundamental level, and there's so much draw to, like, a different mode or a different thing that, yeah, I'll get in there and play. There's nothing like that in High Guard. High Guard looks lame to me, dude. It looks so lame. And then I was watching the gameplay, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's some weird crafting MMO guy to get to the Valorant screen where you buy the weapons and shit. Like, what is this? 3 versus 3, and I don't know. I don't get it. I certainly don't get why, like, Jeff Keighley and many other people were so hyped up from this game. Like, I don't get it, you know? Anybody here really love the game? Like, can you, like, explain it to me? I just don't get it. I would rather get back on Marvel Rivals and tell my opponents, or tell my teammates I will never switch off of Black Widow than play High Guard, yeah. Money talks? Yeah, but from what I understand, there was not actually money spent. I don't think any of those people got paid to do that. So that's another part that doesn't make any sense. Sounds lit. Next topic. Hey, fuck you, Mr. Poppy. Get on FIFA? Dude, I had a buddy in college that was, like, so good at FIFA, but he ruined the game for me. Because, like, people that get really good at FIFA, they're just looking for victims, dude. They're just looking for victims. They're like, yo, come in here. Dude, it's so cool how fun it is to pass the ball around and shit. You wanna play? And then they're like 6-0 you, 5-0 you, and it's just like, isn't this really fun? No, bro, it's not. This is stupid. Are you one of those guys? I'm better. I'm a FIFA champ. Well, there you go. See? There you go. Average FIFA player there, huh? Josh gets skunked. Jesus Christ. Technically, yes, yeah. New 1 vs 3 Arc Raiders mode out today. I heard about that. Yeah, dude. Now that seems fun. Now that seems cool. Cool enough that we should get going because we got a lot of fucking topics. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here and maybe play that mode. King says, what do you think of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls? It looks good, but also looks like maybe a similar thing to that FIFA comment where you're going to get your ass beat in that game. Although, that game might be more balanced than the Versus game, the Invincible game. When I played that Invincible Versus game, I was just like, this is really fun and super degenerate. Like, you're going to have those sweaties that just live and breathe fighting games, and they're going to be like, wait, infinite combos? Oh my fucking God, I could fucking own the noobs on it. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be a miserable experience, so. Yeah, the Tokon game looks cool, though. By the way, this is iced coffee. And that's also Jay the bear. Jay's probably lurking, stuffing his fucking face with pizza that he certainly does not need to be eating right now. But that is his, that's his likeness there. I forgot how to stream, guys. You know, it's been like 5 days. I forgot how to do this shit. I don't know what we're doing here. All right, ready? Actually made some sense and got me curious. I don't know what that means, dog. Oh, Warhammer today. Talking about Warhammer. Okay, Mo. Yeah, no, Warhammer's awesome, man. Like, it's kind of like memes, but it's actually legit, and you should get into it. 100%. I just DoorDashed some Wendy's breakfast with a chocolate milk, and they gave me half a Dunkin' bottle of water. What the fuck? Yeah, but your guy was also out there like Stallone in Rocky 4. Although you're actually over in... You're way west, actually. But I was just imagining your Uber driver, like, like just running through the snow to get you that stupid-ass Wendy's fucking breakfast. Well done. How is Wendy's breakfast, too? Yeah, it's warm here. Oh, lucky you. Lucky you. Don't discuss video games with anyone under the age of 30. Okay, that's pretty sound advice, but I don't necessarily understand it. Why? 8 out of 10? Okay. Best fast food breakfast? Wow, okay. I think McDonald's has the best fast food breakfast to me. But VJB Productions, appreciate the 5, man. Says, what if Sadie's gene turns good at the end of Brand New Day? Help 616 fight the X-Men in Doomsday Charles versus a young Jean. Something like that could be going on, but a lot indicates that both Spider-Man's and Sadie Sink will not be in Doomsday, and instead will be in Secret Wars. So I think you might be onto something there. I just don't think it's going to go exactly the way that we thought. Wawa clears. Dude, I used to love Wawa. I'd come in into King of Prussia. There's like this huge Wawa right before you kind of like get into the actual mall driving. And I'd get 2 of their breakfast burritos with the hash browns, salsa, onions, and peppers. Holy shit, dude. Pretty incredible. What's Wawa? It's like a Sonic Sheets kind of a thing. A lot of them over in Philly and Jersey and randomly in Orlando too. But, yeah. No Philly talk? What? Why not? You guys are so confusing to me today. What is this box of words from these people? Is this what chat is? Oh, worse? Sheets? I'm minimizing this window. Y'all got me fucked up. Okay. Let's talk about some other shit. Can we talk about how fucking excited I am about this rumor about Secret Wars getting split into 2 movies? Holy shit. Please be real. Oh, I need it. Oh, I need it. Have you all seen this? Do y'all know what I'm talking about this? Have you heard about this? Do you know about this? I act like fucking Jay Leno. Do you know about this? You hear about this? So, this is so fun. Let's get into this. This is so cool, dude. So, there's a big rumor, which I guess was started by John Roca. And I saw this kind of, go out into the airwaves over the weekend and whatnot. And I think Roca said it on the Hot Mic podcast. And there was a little bit of time where it looked like he took the video down. Maybe he just took it down for a little bit and edited that section out or something. I don't know. But there was dead ass a moment where this dude's video, the fucking Hot Mic podcast, is getting tweeted everywhere. And then I looked at it and it's like video not found. And I was like, ooh, okay, well. Okay, so anyway, I think Johnny Boy maybe flapped his yaps a little too much on that one. I don't know, but yeah, so that's where it started. And then Daniel, Pooper Scooper, worst person in the world, but somehow has accurate information, so we'll never stop talking about this motherfucker. RPK came out and sort of corroborated this and was like, yeah, no, it's real. And also, it's all about Doomsday. Okay? So this is what they're saying. Daniel said Marvel is waiting to decide whether or not to split Secret Wars into 2 movies until after Doomsday. So they need to see, how much monies it's going to make. Okay? Fascinating. So let's first talk about that. What's the target here? I'm not sure. I know that the Russos, when they signed, they had incentive bonuses for both movies at $1 billion. Okay? Campia said it would have been decided a long time ago. Yeah, there's some truth. I don't actually agree with John on that, but I understand what he's thinking. But I don't think John is appreciating what's actually happening right now. Okay, so we'll get into it. I mean, that's fair play to him. Look, what kind of money will Doomsday make? Let's ask this. What do you think, chat? What kind of money do you think Doomsday is going to make? I think most people agree that it'll make $1 billion. At least. The incentives for the Russos are at $1 billion. They do not have a $2 billion incentive. So everything is at $1 billion. And I also know that part of the negotiation with the Russos coming back and everything was made a little bit more difficult because of the new modern box office, smaller theatrical windows, all of this sort of stuff. And you will recall that when Scarlett Johansson sued Disney and Marvel Studios for the release of Black Widow, part of why she sued and ultimately won was because she had incentive structure for back-end points. She had, bonuses built into how much the movie would make. And because it was released day and date on Disney Plus, that isn't exactly the same, hard to quantify, and therefore she felt that this was not fair. And by the way, Big article that was in Wired that is very hard to find, that was taken off the internet. Around that time, a big article in Wired where the Russo brothers talked about this. They actually discussed how this thing with Scarlett Johansson had made them a little reluctant to come back to do their Secret Wars movie. The reason I remember this is because I remember I read that article, I shit my pants, I screamed at the top of my lungs until I passed out. I woke up, cleaned my poop, and immediately went live. We did an emergency live stream. So I remember going over that article right then and there, which actually, now that I think about it, is maybe one of the only ways we can find that article, because it is gone. That article from Wired is gone. I think this was actually a lot to do with the friction between the Russos and between Marvel Studios. Do you guys remember the Comic-Con that they announced the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Do you remember that I believe it was on the Josh Horowitz podcast, the Russo brothers made comments that week about it. I particularly remember a comment made by Joe where, Josh asked something like, so, Marvel would maybe make Secret Wars. What advice would you guys give them? And I remember Joe made this like offhand comment where he's like, what advice would you give us to get the job, or something like that, right? And then Josh was like, so wait a minute, you're telling me that you guys are not going to come out on stage this Saturday at Comic-Con and announce Secret Wars? And they deadass said, we are not. Like, Joe, I remember this. Joe was like, we are not doing that. So what does all of that mean? I mean, we don't know for sure, but if you read between the lines, it kind of seems like Joe and Anthony Russo were cooking Secret Wars with Marvel basically since Endgame and had always planned to return. And then streaming happens. Fucking Disney Plus, dog. Yo, shout out to John Boyega. He was right. He was right. We could not see it at the time, but John Boyega was right. You're not going to Disney Plus me, man. Holy shit. Prophetic words. But anyway, Disney Plus came in and fucked it all up. And then they released Black Widow. There's the lawsuit. The Russo brothers make that comment. I would imagine there's a lot of friction between Disney proper and the Russo brothers at that moment, at that time. And I think that has something to do with why there was basically for so long, the Russos were not going to be the guys that did Secret Wars. Right? But eventually, Marvel and them go back to them and they decide to do it and all of that sort of stuff. Okay? So if you think about this, the Russos had been considering how to do Secret Wars for 4 years, 5 years, maybe even 6 years. So they very clearly have a big, ambitious idea for that. I personally think that one of the things that changed was obviously going away from Kang and sort of bringing Downey in and front loading Downey RDJ Doctor Doom in the Doomsday film, and then getting into the Secret Wars movie. And another thing that's kind of interesting is back when there were all of those leaks on the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit when they almost got shut down around Quantum Mania time, there were rumors all the way back then that Marvel was considering splitting that movie into two parts, okay? So now go all the way back to the new reports, to the money. What do we think this movie's going to make? I say all of this to say that the reason the Russos got their deals at $1 billion is because I think even the Russos, I think even Marvel Studios, and basically everybody in Hollywood is looking out at theatrical and just seeing that it is not the same, okay? And I think we all acknowledge that to some degree, that it is not the same. So when Daniel says they're thinking about doing this, but the box office of Doomsday will determine this, I think what they're really asking themselves is, do we have another outlier smash hit here? And if we do, does that then mean that there will be enough interest to carry into two other films that are the conclusion of this story? Okay? That's pretty interesting. I don't know what you guys think that number is, but to me, I think it's the speed at which it gets to $1 billion. And I think if it gets to like 1.6 and it literally looks like it could coast to 2 billion, which is a real possibility. Like, I know there's a lot of questions. It's literally fucking January. We have a whole year to figure out what that's going to look like. Where's the actual hype? What are the numbers? But to me, I see that as a very real possibility. And that's like, that's even if the movie's mid. Like, I frankly think the movie could be mid, be very exciting, be spectacle in the way that I think audiences are craving. And I think it could be a smash hit. I mean, it's the number one anticipated movie in most markets, including China. And dude, like, it's like 1 billion views on those trailers. Like, it's the real deal. So to me, if they make $1 billion in like 4 days, I think they make it 2 parts. Okay. If it gets to like 1.6 in a week or a week and a half, and it looks like it could coast close to 2, I think they would do 2 parts. Now, let's talk about 2 parts. What does that mean, splitting the movie up into 2 parts? So I think some people think this means they would do another movie, right? That is not what this is. And I want to be crystal clear about this, because this is where a lot of confusion is coming from. I think a lot of people are like, so wait a minute, they're going to make a trilogy? Sort of, but not really. They're going to do an additional movie? Sort of, but not really. Right now, all reports indicate that Doomsday is likely near 3 hours long, and Secret Wars would have to be at least 3 hours long. I think the Russos even said they might go above 3 hours in one of the interviews that I think they did with Frosty from Collider. Okay? So I think this could actually happen. And what's the rest of the context here? What's the rest of the context? The context is, we already know they delayed both movies by 7 months. We already know that this movie, and maybe both movies, will have shot more actual photography than most fucking franchises do. Like, there's probably trilogies of film or trilogies of movies that did not shoot as much actual photography as either one of these films, right? So I think it truly comes down to, can you make a 4-hour Secret Wars movie that is actually fulfilled? Or do you instead make that Secret Wars movie 6 to 7 hours long, have it be completely filled, and then just split that movie down the middle? That's what I think is on the table here. And that is, by the way, not the same thing. That is not the same thing as making a whole additional movie. Okay? Now, let's talk about contracts. Let's talk about budget. I think a lot of people are getting this wrong. I think this is a brilliant scenario, and each individual actor probably has like a separate deal, and the minutia of that deal is different. But by and large, most of these people are operating off of back-end points and residuals. They get an upfront fee, but then they get a piece of it. Well, guys, think about it like this. It's not even like we're asking them to come back and film all that much more. If what we think is going on, then a lot of these actors filmed for like fucking 3 to 4 months. They're about to film for another couple of months. And then they're coming back for the next movie where they're going to film for 3 to 4 months. And then have actual built-in reshoots to film for another month or 2. They're already filming for basically like a year. They're already doing that. So maybe you extend it by a little bit. Maybe you throw them a little bit more change. But here's where it makes sense from the business perspective. What you need to do is convince the actors that this is a massive pay grade upgrade for them. Because if they have a back-end points deal, splitting Secret Wars into 2 parts gives them a whole nother release, a whole nother theatrical run, and just, it's like basically maybe doubling the amount of box office that you would have. It frankly does not matter how good, fulfilled, and exciting Secret Wars is. If it's one movie, 2 movies will make more money. Period. And I think make more money by a lot. Not a little, by a lot. Because again, the cost to expand it into 2 parts is marginal. but it will get a full ass release. It will have a full marketing campaign. It will get a big ass release, and it's the conclusion. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It will make oodles of money. It basically just gives them way more money, every single party involved, I think. So I actually think it's like a no-brainer. I think the only reason you wouldn't do this is if you felt like Doomsday wasn't connecting, wasn't going to be what you wanted it to be, and you're a little worried about how you could even get into the next one, and you feel like by drawing it out, you're sort of trapped into this thing that's not working, and that, to me, is like the only reason you wouldn't do it. So maybe what Daniel's kind of saying is that unless Doomsday wildly underperforms, Marvel is considering splitting Secret Wars into 2 parts. So, you know, I totally understand how conventional wisdom, how all the history of making movies and everything would tell you this will not happen. But I think Doomsday has already shown itself to be unique. Look at its marketing campaign. We have never before in the history of movies had 4 separate teaser trailers all play in front of the same movie in theaters sequentially, and then garner over 1 billion views across social media platforms in that subsequent week. That shit has never happened. They've never done that, right? So break the mold. I think Marvel's good at breaking the mold. I think they've broken the mold before. I think this is like literally a no-brainer. There's another thing about this that I think is kind of interesting, okay? And yeah, I'm still not done yapping about this shit, okay? I can't help but think about those stories of a George Miller maybe doing Thor 5 or maybe doing World War Hulk. Remember those stories? I can't help but remember how Doc Strange 3 seems to be moving along at a pretty crazy pace behind the scenes, and Sam Raimi might well come back for it. You know? I just can't help but think of all these things that we thought could be Battleworld movies, and I just can't help but think that if you extend Secret Wars into 2 parts, and then you shoot even something with a modest budget with George Miller on Battleworld, that's like a Battleworld project, bro, it's like a no-brainer to me. I think that would be incredible. I've often talked about this because it's something that they did in the comics. The Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars comic book thing, unbelievable. But one of the reasons it was so good was because you couldn't read anything outside of Battleworld. You were either reading the main Secret Wars run or you were reading another story that was happening on this world, on this Battleworld. And a lot of really great talent that we recognize today, like a Joshua Williamson, a Greg Puck, all these different folks, they were actually doing some of those stories for the Battleworld Warzone like comic book tie-in thingies. Dude, they were awesome. They were great. I liked a lot of those stories. So I think there's a way to make this work. I think it could be really cool, and it's possible this was decided a long time ago. John could be right in the sense that they've actually decided this a long fucking time ago, dude. And remember, when Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars were announced, there were 2 other Avengers movies that were trademarked. There was Eternity Wars, and I forget what the other one was. Now, those have all been abandoned, but they could so easily do this, dude. I don't think they have to worry about anybody grabbing up the copyright for Secret Wars Part 2. You know what I mean? They're going to be fine if they choose to do this. And there might be a plan already in place. Holy shit. So, I don't know. There's like a part of me that's like, okay, I don't want to get too excited because we thought about Nomad for years. We speculated about Nomad for years, and Marvel just abandons it. You know? So they could have had these plans for a long time and just abandoned them. I mean, 80% of the things they wrote or trademarked in 2022 have literally been abandoned, right? So Marvel thinks big, they think far ahead, and then they figure it out as they go, and oftentimes it's not as cool as maybe we thought it was going to be. So I'm trying not to get like too hyped up and excited about this, but at the same time, I believe it. Like, I believe it, and I think it actually makes sense. I think it would be like a no fucking brainer. I think the only way you don't do this is if Doomsday makes like 800 million and you're like, bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, we really cooked, and they only this amount of people came out. Like, I don't know. And I think you should probably even still do it, but I can understand the fiscal scare at that point. So anyway, that's the whole thing. What do you make of this, chat? What do you think? What say you, chat? Dakota says timing is important. If they split it and separate the two halves by a year in between each part, I think you will lose hype, momentum, and attention. Yes, that is fair. Maybe you go for a 6-monther. Maybe you go winter 2027, summer 2028, and then the winter film in 2028 is X-Men. That would be a good, that would be a really good way to do it. Buffer Overrun says DD Season 2 trailer is out. Amortize the cost over 2 consecutive movies. Amortize. I can't understand. Yeah, we already watched the trailer, brother. I did like a whole half-hour segment on it, though. Appreciate it. CB the Legend says Campea cooked RPK yesterday. Box office will not determine a part 2 for Secret Wars. Disney already knows. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like Daniel is just like completely full of shit, but often I think he has accurate information, and he's like using weird, vague language to maybe throw us off or not get in trouble. So maybe it's actually happening. Maybe it's confirmed. Maybe Marvel already has the plan, but maybe there is discussion there. Like, hey, if Doomsday bombs, though, we're just going to make it one movie. That could absolutely be what it is. I don't know. Tim O'Brien says, it's been a while since I nerd-venged. Missed you, Josh, and the community. Sorry, I've been MIA for a hot minute. Hey, that happens, man. Life takes us in different directions. Appreciate the love. And also, appreciate those 5 gifted memberships. Holy, my man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Broncos Freak 24 with a 10 spot. Appreciate you, man. Says, do you think it's possible that any of these Marvel TV shows and or movies take place in universe outside of 616, like She-Hulk, Daredevil, Shang-Chi, etc.? No. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea, but here's what I think it'll be. They will be things that no longer happened in 616. So I think when we get into the reboot, certain things, certain characters, certain events did not happen. Like Gaia, no. Secret Invasion, no. Hawkeye show, I hope not. Moon Knight, no. Basically, a lot of Phase 4 and 5. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, here's all these predictions here. A lot of people predicting like 1.5, 1.6. Yeah. Interesting. What else? Any other thoughts here, chat? Campea thought the Secret Invasion script was amazing. Let that sink in. I cannot possibly believe that. Like, that cannot be true. And I don't want to live my life knowing that is true. So I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear you say that. 3 months? 3 months is crazy, Ray. I think you need like 5 or 6, man. It was Rob, actually, but I think he read an early script. Oh, okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense. Can't be first episode of Secret Invasion? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Camp says has horrible taste. Oh, is that so? What does Campea think about Star Wars? Who gives a shit? This is like 2 things I do not care. What does anybody think about Star Wars? Who gives a shit? What do you guys think about Star Wars? I don't care. Don't even make me start talking about Andor. Wow, cool shirt. You're so cool, says Mike Villarreal 455. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. They didn't even have a full script when Campea says he saw it. Damn, there's a lot of like hate and support of Campea in this chat. I mean, I guess he is a somewhat controversial figure, you know? Have you ever seen a UFO, Josh? No, I wish I have, man. I wish. They probably don't let people like me see them. Too much camp in here today. I used to like Campea, but I don't respect him anymore. I like Campea. I think, I don't really watch his content, but I watched a lot of John back in the day. You know, he's a staple in the space. I think he's got good sources. I like the occasional hardcore crash out that he has as well. Nick says, does Spider-Man need to hit for Doomsday and Secret Wars, or does it not matter how Spider-Man does? I think you want Spider-Man to hit, dog. I think Spider-Man hitting is actually an important setup for Secret Wars, potentially. And also, I think it's like, hey, Marvel's cool again. Marvel's like really fun and cool again. Like, that's the way you do it. You're just like, dude, this shit is awesome. Hulk, Punisher, Jean Grey, or Shakira, sorry. Yeah, this shit is hype. W can't be a fuck you, chat. Yeah, Adam is a big can't be a simp. Guys, he's just like a big can't be a simp. But he doesn't even watch John anymore either. But don't make him admit it. It's because he doesn't talk about Warhammer, John. You fucked up, John. Start talking about Warhammer to get Adam back. Josh, do you think that there are robots like living among us? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Except they're not robots. They're Avatar-like drones from a breakaway civilization that is at the same time from our ancient past and our far future. So what's the Nerd King's opinion on the new Game of Thrones show? Me? Am I the Nerd King? That's a cool name. Or you talking about me? I think the show's hilarious, man. I think it's really fun. You know, there's obviously that massive fucking dong. Dude hanging dong. Like I've never seen dong hung. And that's just like, why? But yeah, basically, other than that, I think everything in the show's awesome. It's hilarious. I find myself laughing at the show a lot. I get the charm of Sir Duncan and Egg together. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'm enjoying the show. And you know what else too? I'm actually not noticing the runtime as much as I thought I would. You know, when I saw the runtime for the show, I was like, what the fuck? Boo! You know? They could have trimmed, maybe a little less dong length and a little more episode length. It's about balance. But at the same time, I don't really feel it. It feels good. The episodes feel fulfilling and they're funny. I like the drive of the story. So I'm a fan. Soul Jacka says, it'd be awesome to get a couple movies during Battleworld, like a movie during the snap would have been good. Let the devastation of the snap sink in. 100%, bro. I think absolutely that's what it is. I would have loved to see a little bit more of what Hawkeye Ninja Guy was doing, Ronin. Man, that would have been cool. Darth Baba with a 5-spot. Appreciate you, bro. Says, I finished Solo Leveling Season 1 last night, and I suddenly don't know what Star Wars is anymore. It is so good. Yeah. Solo, you know what's so funny about that, dog? Like, you got that excited about Season 1. Just get into Season 2. Because I had a friend. So I've got my buddy, my best friend is actually like a super big weeb. And I remember him telling me about Solo Leveling years ago because it was a Korean manga. I think it's called a manhwa. And I think this was like the web version of it or whatever. And he was just like, it's incredible. It's an isekai, but it's just clean fun, cool lore, interesting shit. And the guy's so OP. Like the MC's badass and, all these things that we really like about anime. But when Season 1 came out of the anime, he was like, nah, that ain't it. And I was like, what do you mean? I love Season 1. I thought it was so cool. He's like, nope, too slow. And I was like, what do you mean? Dude, watch Season 2. He was right. Season 2 is unbelievable. And it's where you really start to get into what the show and what the story of the manga actually was. So, dude, Solo Leveling, my God, the aura farming, the action, the badassery, the fucking babes. It's got it all. Bojack says, if you had to watch Andor or Wonder Man, which one are you watching? Do I have the option to claw out my eyes and stare into the void of darkness? Probably Wonder Man. I'm sick and tired of Fox's X-Men. What do you mean? You haven't seen him what are you talking about? Why are you so tired of them? What did they do to you? Josh, if time travel is possible, it would create branch timelines or paradoxes that would destroy the fabric of space-time. Marvel actually doing some real theory, especially with black holes. Yeah, there's there's some interesting theories about all of that. Yeah. Interesting. Solo leveling webtoon is peak? Yeah. Josh, you don't think it's kind of messed up that Feige preaches everything is connected and matters just to throw out all of the building they had with Kang? No, it's not messed up. It's a mistake. Like, they fucked up. But what they fucked up was choosing Kang. Like, choosing Kang was a bad idea, dude. Like, Kang ain't shit. Okay? And on top of that, the way they decided to build Kang up was goobly glob. It was so stupid. So stupid. So the mistake was, first of all, choosing Kang. Second of all, choosing to put your whole universe on the back of this relatively unknown guy that, albeit incredibly talented, was obviously not vetted correctly. Yeah, there's a lot of fuck-ups with that. Do I think it's a mistake for them to just throw out all of the story with Kang? No, I think it's a mistake that they didn't throw it out sooner. 100%, dog. That shit is ass. The whole approach for Kang was wrong. They treated him too serious, like Thanos. Kang should be crazy, like the Joker. Yeah, that would be a start. Yeah, but Kang just sucks ass, dog. Like, Kang's terrible. Kang is the villain who is only made interesting by variants of himself that are more interesting. Kang sucks, dude. Terrible character. John says, with a $10 holla, says, "Hey, Josh, been a while since I hopped in here. Got a new job, so I had to pull other things to the side. Just want to say, man, I appreciate how genuine you are. Nerdvengers for life." It's all good, brother. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And I totally get it. Life pulls us in different directions, have different things going on. The beauty of it is the tower is always open, except for when there are storms and freezing cold and polar bears and shit like that. But for the most part, the tower's always open. So whenever you can come back, come on back. I love seeing messages like this, dude. Love it. Because I don't know. I mean, there's just something about that. Like in life, right? Like there's a lot of things we're into and then we maybe aren't as into, or life gets busy or whatever. But it's kind of interesting to like come back to a community, come back to a stream, come back to content. Really, truly don't think y'all would do that unless you really had fun here. So that's cool. I'm excited. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, that's a good another half-hour segment. These got to get smaller. We cannot yap about everything today for a half hour. We will be here all day. We will be here all day. Holy shit. Forgot how to stream. Watch what Campia said about the Secret Wars thing. No, thank you. Hey, Josh, you're hearing all the stuff, the opening scene for Doomsday, Toby versus the X-Men. What are your thoughts? Yeah, no, I think it sounds cool. A little bit of confusion as to what exactly the scene is. Who are the exact players? Got a big video I'm going to drop tomorrow. 3 massive questions about the Fox X-Men in Doomsday. And I go over all the leaks, the rumors. Dude, last time I checked, the video was like 25 minutes or whatever. So it's a big boy. But yeah, it'll be good. You knew how to stream. Good point. Josh hates John just like me. No, I don't hate John. I just don't like reacting to other people's videos. I'm not a good reactor. I'm either going to be like this, like, and give like no reaction, or my ADD is going to get caught on something little and then I'm going to make it into a whole thing. Like I remember we watched this one New Rockstars video. I thought it was a terrible fucking video. But I'm not trying to come out here on stream every day and like, let's put this channel under the microscope and tell you all the reasons why I don't like their content. No, I just like making my content. I like yapping. I like speculating. John said the same thing about reacting. Cool. I'm glad we're all feeling the same way about it. Do you guys just want me and John to kiss? This is getting weird, chat. What is happening here? Okay? We're both married. I'm only kissing John if he gets into Warhammer. And if he tells me a whole bunch of shit about Warhammer, okay? If John Campbell gets into Warhammer, What army would he play, Adam? You know him better than I do. And then he decides to tell me all the scoops that like Robert has and knows about the producer guy and all the stuff. Then I'll kiss him on the lips. No tongue, though, because I have some dignity. But other than that, you guys got to let it go. This is a weird shipping. It's a weird shipping. The Lady Boner says Wonder Man, Star Trek Fleet Academy, and Spock on a chair? This has to be some kind of thing. I don't understand that. I appreciate the support. I'm sure that is a funny meme or some kind of snarky thing, Lady Boner. I don't understand it. Thank you, though. You should fight can't be in a celebrity boxing thing. Why would I do that? I've no desire. You know, Friday and yesterday were so peaceful. I didn't have like any of the like I love y'all, but like it is crazy just seeing all this shit. Like people just say, y'all just will say anything. You will just say anything. Okay? I don't want anything but ultra polite, sycophantic, you know, well thought out support and questions. That's all I want. Anyways, there's other stuff we got to talk about. What have we talked about today so far? Okay, we talked about Secret Wars. We talked about the Daredevil trailer. Let's talk a little bit more about Secret Wars, you freaking butthole. Alrighty, there's even more out there about Secret Wars. Now, we just got done talking about this rumor that maybe it'll get split into 2 parts. We'll see, you know. Seems to be some pushback to that idea. I think it would be great. I hope they do it, but we'll see. It would be fucking wild. But whether or not this movie is a 2-parter or not, it is essentially the big movie. And man, there have been a lot of interesting rumors coming out here and there that have kind of got me thinking, damn, Secret Wars is really the one. Secret Wars is the place where a lot of the wild stuff is actually going to show up. So, as an example, Daniel Pooper Scooper, terrible-ass, horrible person, put it behind a paywall, Patreon bullshit, get the fuck out of my face, but has reliable information. RPK has recently said that Thanos will not be in Doomsday, but instead will be in Secret Wars. What? What the fuck? Hey, maybe I'm just paranoid here, but sometimes I feel like the scooping community and even people like John are like fucking like quote tweeting me or subtweeting me or whatever. Because like remember on I was thinking it was like Thursday or Friday, I was like maybe King Thanos shows up to fuck Toby's universe up. That would be awesome. And there's that whole joke about the purple alien thing they could play off of. And then like John, like Daniel's like Thanos is in Secret Wars. It's like stop taking my fun. Stop trying to take my speculation, my theories. You know, Alex is like, Toby doesn't die. Just leave me alone. I appreciate the viewership, but shut up. So King Thanos may be in Secret Wars. That's kind of interesting. You know what else is being said? And this actually comes from Geeky. And I'm going to give Geeky a proper shout out here and a proper credit, because if he's wrong, we will flame his ass. But Geeky claims to have some new sources, and he knows about Black Panther, the new Black Panther, which might be Damson. And that now looks like it's also going to be in Secret Wars, which was backed up by Daniel as well. So you're telling me that we've been following rumors of a King Thanos variant. We've been following rumors of a new Black Panther, and it seems like all of that's in Secret Wars now? And then there's the possibility that the evil Avengers are actually in Secret Wars. Right? I've talked about this. Paul from Heavy Spoilers, one of the first things he talked about was Scarlett Johansson is back for Secret Wars, evil Black Widow. And at the time, I just thought, nah, it's got to be Doomsday. He's just getting it mixed up. But maybe not. Maybe it's literally Secret Wars. Well, if we start to you start to think about all that stuff, and then John said that the connection between RDJ's Doctor Doom and RDJ's Tony Stark will not be explored in Doomsday, but instead will be explored in Secret Wars. So I'm starting to, there's 2 things going on. One, what the fuck is Doomsday then? You know what I mean? Like, what is Doomsday? Doomsday, and I think I kind of nailed it in the video yesterday. I said, it seems like Doomsday is a car crash. Like, it seems like Doomsday is going to just be this fucking car crash, and it's just high impact, crazy stuff happening, and then maybe we pick up the pieces. Maybe we reverse engineer. Maybe we backtrack a bit. Maybe we fill in the gaps via Secret Wars. Well, holy shit. Okay, then what is Doomsday? What is Doomsday? Doomsday might end up being a pretty streamlined movie. Doomsday might just be, kind of like the bare bones basic version of driving that plot through the incursions to the end of time and the creation of Battleworld. So on the one hand, it's like, damn, what is Doomsday? The other hand, though, is like, what is Secret Wars? Because, like, I had this idea of Secret Wars where it would be God, Emperor, Doom, like very similar to the Hickman stuff. It would be God, Emperor, Doom, and then there's a bunch of people that survive Doomsday on the life raft. They pop up on Battleworld, and they try to turn Doom. And we saw that one leaked concept art, which shows maybe Pedro getting brought before God Emperor Doom in front of the throne room, and Yelena's maybe doing it. And I said back then, I was like, guys, this feels like a Star Wars scene. It feels like maybe Tom Holland Spider-Man gives the whole crew the idea, just like he has before, of the Luke Skywalker plan from Return of the Jedi. They're going to go into Jabba's palace, but instead it's Doom. And instead of Chewbacca, it's Pedro, right? And maybe the whole thing there is to then get the power of the Sentry, because there's a lot of rumors about Sentry being the sort of power cell replacing the Molecule Man, perhaps, in the Secret Wars movie. And I was like, okay, this is all really, really interesting. But then you're like, okay, but now it's King Thanos. Well, that feels like it has to be a Baron or a Duke, or he's a king of one of the kingdoms of Battleworld, right? And it's like, okay, then we got the evil Avengers. Well, that feels like maybe the replacement for the Thor Corps, and maybe Doom has his own version of Avengers that are out there policing Battleworld. The Doctor Doom twist, the connection between him and Tony, would be explored in Secret Wars? How so? I mean, the only way that could happen is that Tony survives into Battleworld, and Tony is with the other heroes, and maybe people are recognizing Tony and saying, like, dude, you look like the God Emperor. You look like Victor Von Doom, or you sound like Victor Von Doom. Like, who are you? But how do you then explain? Like, I guess what I'm saying is this. In the setting of Battleworld, I understand conceptually how all of these things could be there. But how do you backtrack to explain Tony on the sacred timeline and that connection? How do you explain the falsehood of what the sacred timeline was, what the Prime Universe actually is, and set up the future in the Battleworld setting? Well, one of the ways I think is through Jean Grey. And I'm actually starting to think that this is why Sadie Sink's character is going to be set up in Brand New Day and then brought into Secret Wars, because a telepath that remembered the old universe would be able to give back the memories, or at least show, kind of like how Charles showed our Stephen Strange in Multiverse of Madness. You could literally show what had happened before, right? So this whole thing with Secret Wars and Doomsday is starting to get really, really wild. And I think I like it. Like, it's confused me a bit, but I think I like it because that setting and that Secret Wars movie is an interesting way to explore a lot of these ideas. Like, maybe Doomsday has like kind of like too much going on, and it needs the pulse. It needs to feel desperate, and like time is literally running out, and it just has to be like a car crash, like I've been saying, right? And then you pick up the pieces and you explain stuff also in a 1602 totally grand setting with maybe the Thor Corps, Dark Avengers, King Thanos over here, Tobey Maguire and Andrew, Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Like, bro, it just seems so cool. And it kind of connects to the other story, because I think split that shit, dude. Split that shit. Make that into 2 movies. That's the perfect way to do it. If you're really doing the heavy lifting of the story and the explanation in Secret Wars, then that movie has to be long, dude. You got to let that shit sit. You got to let that cook. It cannot feel like we're going through a checklist of finding answers. It has to feel like a satisfying way to get to these conclusions, a satisfying way to unravel the truth about Doctor Doom and RDJ, which ultimately becomes an unraveling of the truth of what Battleworld really is for certain people. And then you have to explain how the structure of the universe will be put back together again, why we're going to get certain characters recast, why the new X-Men are there, et cetera, right? It feels like a monumental task for a movie, but it also feels like that's probably good. That's probably appropriate. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that, guys. This is just like an addition to all of the other stuff that we've been talking about. Wonder what you think. What do you think of this? Do you think Doomsday works if you just go? And then do you think Secret Wars is an appropriate setting to uncover some of these truths? What do you think? I'm interested. I am quite interested in what you all say. RBM says that time passes differently on each world we visit in Doomsday. Okay. That's interesting. It's going to slap regardless. I mean, I think it's probably going to slap, but I'm really starting to feel like this is actually a really good... Like, I think the core concept of Secret Wars, which was likely always connected to the Sacred Timeline, because, like, you got to watch how Marvel builds up the lore after Endgame. The Loki show is so damn important for recontextualizing the MCU, and the recontextualization of the MCU is ultimately the story of the Multiversal Saga. Like, that's what it feels like. So I think it was always, like, even when Kang was the main guy, it was always about undoing this great cycle, this fake reality, and getting back to a place where we had like a consolidated timeline with an actual Venom and Spider-Man and actual X-Men and Fantastic Four and the Avengers. Everybody's in the same world together. That was always their idea. You can just see it in the Loki show. Knuckin' Foots, remember for 55 months, says Doom's fucking shit up on Battleworld. Enter RDJ Iron Man slow walking to Black Label Society Doomsday Jesus. 10 billion guaranteed. I mean, that's a lot of money. $10 billion is an insane amount of money. But for some reason, I believe you. For some reason, I think that you're probably right. And also, what's going on my monitor here? Hello? Hello, Mr. Monitor, with all my shit on it. Okay, there we go. Chillin' says, Scooper King Spikes claims that Daredevil Born Against Season 1 and 2, Punisher Special Brand New Day all take place before Thunderbolts. Thoughts? Nerd Avengers for Life, Basement Crew Anonymous, Unite. I don't trust the new Scoopers, man. And it's nothing personal against this guy, but he just reminds me a lot of like Chad and Geeky and these other guys. And it's all good. Totally understand it. But I'm zoning all that shit out. Like when I got burned by James Mack and who's the other? Majestic. Like I don't need to know what the newest scooper with the news sources has to say about any of this shit. I'll wait for it to come through regular channels or my own sources. So, yeah, nothing personal, but, like, I don't ever want to hear the name King Spike again. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you, though. I just trust the Russos with Marvel until they fuck up. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair. If Thanos isn't in Doomsday, who was Doom choking in the China Expo event? I think it was Kang. Oh, well, that's just a light show, bro. Like, that doesn't necessarily have to represent anything that's actually in the movie. Yeah, but it is a good question. I mean, I really thought, I guess what I wonder, Chad, does it surprise you? Because it does surprise me a little bit. I really thought a lot of this stuff would be in Doomsday. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Daniel. Wow, that's appendicitis and is in for surgery. I mean, it's good she's going to be fine, it seems like, and get that surgery handled, but that's scary, huh? Why was Thor crying? He stubbed his toe. He stubbed his toe. That's what. Kang Dynasty was likely going to be a smaller movie that builds to Kang. Then maybe they pivoted to a movie that introduces Doom as an ally before he betrays the good side at the end. Enter 2 Secret Wars movies. Yeah, hard to say exactly, but yeah, we've had some rumors here and there as for how all of that was going to go. Doctor Doom will capture all the OG Avengers, and the new Kid Avengers will save them in Secret Wars, teaming with Spider-Man. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Like, that seems... And I would like that. You know, part of the reason I like it is I think it's kind of cathartic if we see, like, evil versions of our heroes, right? So, specifically Captain America. Let's just talk about Cap. If it's Hydra Cap, and on Battleworld, he was just always Hydra Cap, and he's a part of the Dark Avengers, and he's out there doing the bidding of Doom, and then his own son, and maybe Sam Wilson, and maybe Bucky, but Bucky's gonna get killed, man. Bucky, sorry, R.I.P. Bucky, he gone in Doomsday. But, you know, maybe you have Sam, and you've got Cap's kid, and maybe others, and they're trying to convince Hydra Cap that he's not actually an evil servant of Dr. Doom and that he was a real hero in a prior universe. There's something cathartic about that. Like, I actually like that. When I originally heard all the rumors of the evil Avengers, my idea was, okay, if I'm Dr. Doom, I'm going to go out and get evil versions of the Avengers and go into 616 because I know specifically sets of characters will have an emotional weakness. They will skip a beat. They will hesitate because of the emotional connection they have to these variants. So I would have got a Hydra Cap just so Bucky pauses a beat, and then I have Hydra Cap, like, cut him in half. That was my thought process. And that's cool, but it's not really, like, cathartic in the story sense. It's just kind of fucking cool. However, if these new rumors and this idea is to be believed, and they do it in Secret Wars, that's more cathartic from a story perspective, because it's like, it would be awesome to watch a false version of Captain America that we all know is false, have his sort of come to Jesus moment, and the people that gave him that catalyst are these other heroes. I think particularly for Sam, this would be so useful. One of the mistakes I think Marvel did was sort of try to take Sam out of the shadow of Steve, make him his own man for whatever fucking reasons, not understanding that his connection to Steve is what endured us to the character in the first place, and also gives him like actual emotional resonance, you know, like they fucked it up. They fucked it all up with Sam, basically. And I think this would be a good way to get back to the core of who Sam is. Sam was a fanboy, dude. He was retired. Call it a resume. No, I can't have you in. You're already out, Sam. Captain America needs my help. No better reason to get back in. With boyish enthusiasm. We used to fucking love Sam Wilson, bro. So go back to that. Fix him. And I think this is a good way to fix him. Nick says, who will be the hero for the Avengers at the end of Secret Wars? I think it'll be Tony, but it could be Tom Holland, Spider-Man 2. I don't know. One of those two probably, yeah. One of them twos, huh? One of them twos. Did I miss some super chats? I see people complaining. Oh, my God. 5 years of Nerd Venging. So blessed to be a small part of your YouTube career. Here's to another 5. Love you, Josh. Nerd Vengeance for life. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. That's very kind. Let's see here. Did I miss one? I'm back. I already got that one. Oh, wait. No, I didn't get this. Sorry. DAC. Appreciate the 2 and the 5. Says, I'm back. Missed you guys. Honestly, dying for Doomsday. Think Loki the Skeleton Doom was holding in that drone show. Stay nerdy fools. You think Loki gets spine ripped? I think that was just an acknowledgement of the comic book thing, and maybe we get a spine rip, but I don't know that there's any clues in that trailer. Do y'all think we're getting a spine rip? Because if it's a spine rip, it should be Toby. You know? Doctor Doom should come out and be like, Spider-Man fans don't even like Spider-Man, and yet I'm pretty sure this will still hurt. And then he just spine rips Toby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, I think I caught up on all the super chats. Appreciate the support, though. Much love. John Jay's super chat. I didn't skip nothing. All right, we're stopping that segment there because I'm not going another half hour on a segment. Boom. Thanos actor did hint at Russo's talking to him. It might be Thanos variant spine rip. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. That would be a terrible idea. Josh, you missed my super chat from 2 years ago. You don't like Spider-Man, and that's okay? No, I love Spider-Man. I just am so sick of you Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fans. The Spider-Man fandom, if it weren't for Star Wars, would be the most toxic fandom there was. And I know that because I'm a part of it. Spine rip would only make sense once Doom is God Emperor. So it should be early in Secret Wars. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. If they did Cap lifting Mjolnir, they would do a spine rip. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you're probably going to get a spine rip. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Could be a funny my back moment. Yeah, exactly. They should have gotten some experienced black actor as Kang, like Denzel Washington, and played with multiple personalities in different versions, make it weird, pit him against Reed. Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda, who gives a fuck? It's over. Fuck you, Kang. Get out of my face. Josh, I sent a super in May of 2021 and you missed it. Yeah, I did it on purpose, John, because fuck you, John. You did it, Chad. You did it. I was feeling so good. New year, new me, being super positive and friendly, and now I'm back to my toxic self. Fuck you, chat. You did it. Yeah. And fuck Highguard, too. Josh, I never got knighted. Dog, you're a gray name. You're not a nerdventure. Pony up that $5 fucking, and I still might not knight you. You never weren't toxic. The fuck? What? All right, you want to talk about toxic? Let's talk about this. So, guys, there's another storm coming. Okay? There's another storm coming this weekend. I can't fucking believe it, but guess what I have to do? Okay, I got bad news and I got good news. Bad news. I need to delay the Nerd EFAP another week. I know. But it's Friday. Look, I didn't make this up. I don't know what's going on. It seems like the Matrix is out to get me, but actually for real this time and not some silly ass shit that stupid other people say. It's really happening to me because Friday is the coldest day this week. Do you know what the average temp is going to be on Friday? It's between 0 and 6 degrees. Okay? Again. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you a deal because I feel bad. I didn't create the storm, but I feel bad. So here's what we're going to do. On Friday, we are going to do a members stream. It's not going to be the Nerd EFAP, but I will be drinking. That's right. We're day drinking on Friday like responsible adults. I'm going to be drinking booze. And therefore, we got to put it for members only because I'm probably going to wild out and say some crazy shit. So if you're a member, Friday stream, regular stream, adult beverages, a lot of toxicity, potential cancelable offenses. So I'll see you guys there on Friday, okay? We'll have a regular stream tomorrow. We'll have a regular stream Thursday. Friday, we'll do a member stream where it's a regular stream, but I'm boozing. Woo! And then hopefully we get back to regular... Can the weather stop, dude? I'd like to get back to, like, regular shit next week. That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. Super Bowl stream still in play? Yeah, we're going to do a Super Bowl stream for sure, man. It's going to be great. Super Bowl stream is going to be real fun, actually. I'm very excited for that. I'm experimenting with something. I'd like to make that stream really, really good. Can you pick who your gifted goes to? I actually don't think so. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. No Steelers? No, no Steelers, but, yeah. All right, is there other new... What else is there to talk about? Let's talk about the... Can we talk about Dragon Ball a little bit? Hang on, let me get this pulled up. And also, too, just so I know, I'm going to look at the chat. Guys, how many Dragon Ball fans we got out there? Throw a 1 into the chat if you're a Dragon Ball fan. Are you a Dragon Ball fan? Throw a 1 into the chat. Because there's a lot of Dragon Ball fans. It's kind of wild. So I want to show you a couple things here. David Colin, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers, baby. Good to have you back. I want to show you a couple of things. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball. We're going to talk about its prevalence. And then also we're going to talk about how the Dragon Ball fandom is already taking shots at the Marvel fandom. And I don't think Marvel fandom can stand up to them this time. We used to have that kind of sauce. The Marvel fandom used to be able to handle this shit. But these days, we've kind of fallen a little bit. And I truly am not sure that the Marvel fandom has the sauce to be able to stand up to the Dragon Ball fandom. Okay, so let's talk about this, man. Now, look, I have said many a time over the past couple of years that anime is on the rise. Anime is blowing up in ways that are truly fascinating to watch. And if you've been an anime fan like me for basically your whole life, you've seen similar things. Like there was a moment in the late 90s where anime was huge and manga was all over your bookstores or whatever, and then it kind of went away. It didn't just last. Like it kind of got shoved to the back of the store, wasn't that big, and anime kind of went back into I don't know, sort of like a regressed period. Now, Dragon Ball itself is fascinating because Dragon Ball is like considered this big evergreen, super popular series. I think right up until Toriyama Sensei unfortunately passed, I think many people did not actually know how important and big Dragon Ball was. But when Toriyama passed, I mean, you just saw it. It was undeniable. Watching so many people come forward to give respect, to say how influential Dragon Ball was, to say how important it was to them. You saw fans do it. You saw celebrities do it. You saw other mangakas and other directors and writers and all these different people. It was truly something special. What a legacy to have left behind by Toriyama. And I think literally right up until that moment, there was just so many normies, so many people that don't like anime that just didn't realize how big of a deal this was. There was a bit of a Dragon Ball resurgence or a renaissance from 2014 till basically 2019. The irony of this was that this was because of Hollywood. Hollywood did a live-action version of Dragon Ball that was so fucking bad that Toriyama, who had long retired and was like, I'm out of the game, bro, came back and was like, man, fuck this shit, and did designs and story for Battle of Gods, Fakatsu no F, and on and on and on, leading to the Dragon Ball Super anime. And since the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball's been... It hasn't been on the air other than Daima and some of the superheroes, heroes, you know, the movie, but also the web anime thing, right? Most Dragon Ball fans that I know have been super hungry for more Dragon Ball content, okay? And we knew something was coming. It had been rumored for a while. And it was officially revealed just the other day. So Dragon Ball Super, a couple of really interesting things going on. Number one, they are continuing the Dragon Ball Super anime. It is the Galactic Patrol arc. It's basically the Moro arc. Okay, now look, I got to sort of TLDR some stuff. We got a lot of normies. We got a lot of Marvel fans that are like, what's an anime? Is it all just Gooner bait because they've got big titties and shake them around? No, but also yes, and that's part of why it's awesome. Shut the fuck up. So, Dragon Ball, manga, anime, what's the connection? How does this work? Normally what happens is a mangaka would write, draw, or, you know, just write and have another person draw a manga, which would then tell a story, and then that gets adapted into an anime. That's normally the relationship. You've got a ongoing manga, and then you adapt that into an anime. It's not always the case. One of my favorite animes is Cowboy Bebop. No manga. No manga. They just were like, no, we're just going to make this anime, right? And in some weird instances, there's even an anime before there's a manga. And one of the examples that comes to mind is the Akira movie. A lot of people don't know this, but at the time that the Akira film was made, the anime was not completed. And so he stopped, or the manga was not completed. He stopped the manga, made the movie, and then he went back and finished the manga. Wow, I'm mixing the shit up. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? He made the movie, then he finished the story in the movie, then he finished it in the manga, and he actually made the manga ending way fucking better because the movie he just fucked it up a little bit, and so he made it a lot better. Anyways, point I'm making is this. Since Dragon Ball Super went off the air, there has not been an anime other than Daima, which was cool. There's not been an anime that was airing. But there was a manga. They continued the story of the manga, and the manga was actually pretty fucking cool. It did some goobly glob for a while, but then when it gets into this arc here, the Galactic Patrol arc, it has this awesome villain named Moro, and this dude is the goat. Like, he literally kind of looks like a goat. Very powerful. Just pushed Vegeta and Goku to their absolute limits, caused them to gain even more power. Then there was this other guy that made a wish in the Dragon Balls to become the most powerful person in the universe. I actually forget his name, but that Granola, I think. That whole arc was really cool and really fun. And the manga leaves off at a place where you have Black Frieza. Okay, now do y'all know about Black Frieza? Let me TLDR this Black Frieza thing. Frieza, one of the greatest villains in all of manga and anime. The very, very popular ruler or emperor during most of Dragon Ball Z. This character's awesome. He's very strong. And ironically, he never trained ever. So I believe what Black Frieza is literally Frieza for the first time in his entire life training. And training is a massive thing in Dragon Ball. Like, part of the fun in Dragon Ball is like you run into this very powerful villain, you can't overcome it, and then you got to go train. You got to go train, get stronger, come back, be stronger, beat the villain. That's a thing in Dragon Ball. But Frieza never trained his entire life. So he finally trains, and he becomes so powerful that at the end of that arc, Vegeta and Goku, who have ascended into incredible new versions of their forms, they're stronger than ever, they get bitch slapped by Black Frieza. Black Frieza fucks them up. But then nothing. We don't know how the story goes from there with the manga. But there was this whole big story that led up to that moment with Black Frieza in the manga that is now going to be adapted for the anime. On top of that, they're doing a remaster of Dragon Ball Super. This remaster, this is so interesting. It's like, it feels like almost all of the big old animes are remastered. It's not like One Piece is being remastered. There's a lot of remastering going on. But I look to a show like Bleach, okay? And what Bleach is doing is they decided to adapt the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, but they released it in these cores of like 12 episodes that they do an incredible amount of production work on. These things are crispy. The animation is out of fucking control, but it's like a 12 episode thing every 6 to 12 months. It's not incredibly consistent. It's not like it used to be where you just get a show every week. But it is really high fidelity, really fun animation. I believe that's probably what they're going to do with what is being called Dragon Ball Super Beerus, which I think, if I remember correctly, what Danny said was it'll be like a 6 to 12 episode thing. They'll take a big break, 6 to 12 episodes. It's only going to adapt key moments of Super. And I think it's all being done to give fans that didn't watch Super or want to just get hyped and excited for this new continuation of Super, it's giving them a high fidelity, high production value version of what we watched 6+ years ago, which will lead into this, which is the Galactic Patrol arc. And oh my God, bro. Dragon Ball is about to show the world why it's still the GOAT. It's still one of the most popular things there ever was. So fucking awesome. And unfortunately, that takes us to this shit here. Okay, so, guys, I'm a Marvel fan. Okay, I'm also a Dragon Ball fan, but I'm a Marvel fan. And let's be real, I make my bread and butter off of Marvel. Okay? But Marvel, you fucked up. You've done so much goddamn goobly glob over the last couple of years then now we're getting stuff like this. Okay, so what is this? This is a tweet about the Scarlet Witch solo project developed at Marvel Studios. A scoop from Daniel RPK, which is something he's been repeating for like 3 years. We're getting a Scarlet Witch solo project. Brother, this guy literally, Temsey says, in all caps, no one gives a fuck. Dragon Ball is back. Grah. It has 52,000 likes. It has 800K views. Same tweet. Scarlet Witch, which I don't know why Scarlet Witch is getting the brunt of this, but also who gives a fuck about the Scarlet Witch solo project when Dragon Ball is back? They're actually right. I can't fucking believe it. Dragon Ball back, ninja. We don't give a fuck. Says nah. 1 million views. 1.1 million. 70,000 likes. You're getting fucking destroyed out there, Marvel. And again, I don't fully understand it. I don't know why they're taking aim at Marvel, but dude, I think Dragon Ball fans are so sick of MCU slop being the most popular thing for years and years and years. And I got to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of other people are sick of it. And this is dangerous. This is scary. Kevin, do you see what's happening? Kevin! Do you see what's happening, man? I don't want the whole world to start clowning on Marvel as they get excited about Dragon Ball. It doesn't have to be this way. You need to get your fucking sauce back. You need to get the juice back. And I love the Scarlet Witch, but it's way too late. Nobody gives a shit anymore. We cannot have a Scarlet Witch solo project being a premiere any goddamn thing in the year of 2026 or beyond. Fuck that. You need Doctor Doom. You need Magneto. You need the X-Men. You need the most popular and hyped up shit. You're fighting for your fucking life out here. You will get shit on. The Dragon Ball fandom will eat your fucking lunch. And that's not even to mention all the other things that are going on. This is a weird one for me. This was really weird to see as it sort of spoke to this thing I couldn't perfectly articulate with what was happening with how Marvel had positioned itself in the zeitgeist and what people within the pop culture space were saying about it. Bruh. They gotta watch their ass. Is Wanda no longer hype? Dog, that's what I'm telling you. Wanda is no longer hype. People are over the fucking MCU in the state it had existed in prior. You cannot sell people on this same old Marvel thing. This Marvel character is getting a solo project. This Marvel character is getting a solo project. That shit doesn't work. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. It has to be fire. It has to be spectacle. It has to be awesome. It damn sure cannot be Wonder Man. Are you kidding me? We're going to get Black Frieza, and then we're getting Black Wonder Man. One of these blacks is not like the other black. You're fucking it up. Kevin! Kevin! Call me Paul Revere, man, because I am running through the goddamn town. The Dragon Ball fans are coming. The Dragon Ball fans are coming. What are you gonna do about it, Kevin? So anyway, I'm real excited about Dragon Ball, but a little concerned. You know, frankly, a little concerned. It was weird to see these tweets. This is like, and again, I really don't know why Wanda's getting it, you know? I'm a little concerned. All right, anyway. What do you guys think? How you guys doing? What do you think of this? They're coming like that Rebel Moon fan. What the fuck, Adam? Dragon Ball and Rebel Moon? Come on, man. Wanda lost all hype the instant Evan Peters was a dick joke. Guys, I gotta be honest with you. I really just, I think there's this fucking misconception, dude. There's like, the Marvel fandom just thinks everybody is as in it as they are. And I'm just telling you, like, that's not what it was. You're talking about the same group of people that watched through all phase 1, 2, and 3 And then all of a sudden the movies start making $1 billion and Endgame's the biggest thing in the world. Guys, we were not the people that turned it into that. We were the motherfuckers that had been there the whole time. It was all these other people that had come in and liked what was going on and fucked with it. And that is gone. And if you try to act like that is still there, oh, we're all excited about the Wanda Solo movie. No, the fuck we are not. I'm probably more excited than most people because I actually think there's a lot of juice with that character, but it cannot be the Wanda Girl Boss Sex in the City version of bullshit within the MCU universe. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't even think they should make this movie. Put her in Midnight Suns, make it super compelling. Oh, you got me on one, chat. You got me on one, man. Read my super, please, Daddy Josh. Oh my God. I'm a fan of Dragon Ball. These balls, Jesus Christ. Milk Your Carnation says teaser trailers, not timestamp comic issue numbers. Okay, gotcha. Tough Luck with a 10 spot says, hi, Josh. I'm watching Wonder Man repeatedly starting tonight to make it a hit. I know you feel it won't be important to the MCU future, but Jeff Snyder says Wonder Man's in Doomsday, so I feel it will be. Jesus. This is the kind of shit. It was like these people... Much love, Tough Luck, like much love, and I'm not trying to be super rude, but like you are the type of person that's like, wait a minute, people don't like Wanda? Dog. Wonder Man's in Doomsday, so we should give a shit? Like, no, that's why these people are like, no one gives a fuck, Dragon Ball's back. Like, that's why they're hyped up on that, because we're over here like, well, Jeff Snyder said that Wonder Man is in Doomsday, so I will watch the 7-hour stupid-ass bullshit show. It's a well-crafted piece of content in my connected universe that I still enjoy. My God. I'm trying to warn you. I'm trying to warn you. And Kevin, you better not listen to these fucking people, dude. Again, I love these people. You know what I mean? Welcome to the chat. Appreciate the support. Kevin, they don't know anything. Kevin, don't. No. No, Kevin! I would like Marvel to get back on top. I'd like Marvel to regain its status within the zeitgeist, but you don't do it with this kind of bullshit. I'm sorry. Wanda, your time's up. It's over. Done. Do epic, awesome, bombastic, over-the-top, super exciting shit. Because I promise you, this Moro shit is going to cook. Whenever they get to Black Frieza, that shit is going to cook. Are you kidding me? And by the way, too, I know Marvel has this whole thing. They overcomplicate things. They're being too cute with this shit. They called this dude Black Frieza, and they colored part of his armor in black. This shit is not rocket science, dog. You don't need all this blah, 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 blah. No! Smash the fucking toys together. It's not that complicated. Fuck. So anyways, I'm really excited for Wonder Man. I'm really excited for Dragon Ball. I'm really excited for the return of a truly great franchise that has stood the test of time. That is just so fun, man. You know, I think one of the things that Dragon Ball, it feels like a video game. It feels like a goddamn video game, and it's just super fun, bombastic. It's so macho, dude. I love that macho shit. Oh, so good, so good. So yeah, exciting, but really interesting to see the sauce, man. 400K likes. And 36 hours on that post, it surpassed the likes of the Attack on Titan finale and a lot of other anime announcements. This Dragon Ball announcement popped the fuck off, dude. They're cooking with gas. They're cooking with gas, and this is going to be very popular, and it deserves it. Dragon Ball is awesome. Dragon Ball has also not forgotten what people like about it, and it continues to just deliver that. So I'm pretty hyped. I am pretty hyped about it. All right, that's enough on Dragon Ball. I got one more thing to yap about today. I'm not done. Sit your ass down. we got to talk about the X-Men. So, a couple of cool things to get into with the X-Men, actually, okay? And a lot of this stuff is coming from Daniel, RPK, Pooper Scooper, terrible, ridiculous, put it behind a paywall, butthole, can't fucking believe this guy. Probably also is my time to shine, but everybody got so upset at me when I said that, RPK. But I think it's accurate, and I want to talk about it. So it says, the MCU's X-Men movie will reportedly start filming once Avengers Secret Wars wraps. Now, look, first off, I think that's kind of crazy. Other people were like, that's not wild. That's not insane. No, it is. It is pretty wild, man. Because they had a writer like a year ago. They had a director 4 or 5 months ago. They're obviously working on this film, and I think casting those people, as indicated by Jeff Snyder. So the X-Men is moving. The X-Men is moving. What do you mean they're not even going to start filming until Secret Wars wraps? When does Secret Wars wrap? At the earliest, Secret Wars wraps summer of next year. Then if X-Men hits cameras literally as that is ending, that's 6 months to the end of the year. At the earliest, you're looking at a first quarter 2028, summer 2028 X-Men released movie. I do think that's odd. I think it speaks to the complete and total focus of Secret Wars and how important Secret Wars is. And this is just if Secret Wars is one movie, right? We've talked about how if Secret Wars might get split up into 2 films, and that's wild. And if it gets split up into 2 films, then, dude, you're talking about maybe extending into past summer of 2027. So you might not even start filming X-Men until 2028. That is pretty wild, okay? However, one of the reasons why this is likely happening is because of Jean Grey. I know there's still a lot of confusion of whether Sadie Sink is not Jean Grey, and maybe she's not. Maybe she was, and literally I just ruined this massive contract that Sadie Sink has. Kevin Feige took her into the office, and he's like, I fucking hate the Den of Nerds, so I'm literally firing you as Jean Grey just so that he's not correct, and she probably cried. But I doubt it. I think she's Jean Grey. And I think she has a serious to-do in the Secret Wars film. Maybe it's not just her. Maybe it's some of the other X-Men as well. Probably the case that these actors are literally filming. So the reason the X-Men movie has to start filming after Secret Wars is because they're filming Secret Wars. That's kind of interesting. That's probably an element to this as well. But ultimately, it does really just speak to the total focus and determination of Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios to just make Secret Wars great. One of the, I think we went over this last week. There was a report. Oh, man, I forget who. I think it was Justin Kroll on the Barstool podcast had spoken to the concern about Doomsday and Secret Wars, but also spoke to how basically Kevin has been trapped in an office in London or trapped on the set of London and worked for a year straight on nothing but Secret Wars and Doomsday. Normally, Marvel has like 3 to 4 projects in production at like any one time. They used to do 3 movies a year, right? So it's like, yeah, they would be doing a lot. But the way that Kroll said it was, even Spider-Man was primarily handled by Amy Pascal. Feige is just working on Secret Wars. He's just working on Doomsday, just working on Secret Wars. So this speaks to that philosophy, to the actions he's been taking, and a continuation of that, which I think is good. I mean, we talked about it last week, but yeah, this shit's really important. It's really important to nail these next 2 Avengers movies. I think the only downside of this is it means the X-Men film very likely to not be like rather quickly released after Secret Wars. You know, Spider-Man Far From Home came out just a few months after Doomsday. And a lot of people don't even remember that because it feels like it's not a part of the canon, and it's dealing with like the blip, or Endgame rather. It's dealing with like the blip and all of that. But that happened. I mean, Far From Home was after Endgame, and also made $1 billion, by the way. And it was released rather quickly. It must have been shooting while they were creating Endgame. So you can't replicate that. And there's a bit of concern there just because I do think you want to kind of hit the ground running. You get to Secret Wars, you have that conclusion, and people are going to be super curious about the new universe. And I think X-Men is like a great way to be like, bam, 1-2 punch. Now you're into the new X-Men thing in the 616. Here's what's going on, right? So a little bit of concern there. But makes sense. Makes sense. really may be concerning if they delay and do 2 parts of Secret Wars. This could really be delayed in that case. So that's kind of interesting. But another thing that Daniel said was that Ryan Reynolds is completely focused on Deadpool 4. Did you see this scoop that just came out from him? Right? So that feels like Daniel talking or referring to a conversation that was going on in the fandom that Charles Murphy kind of started and other people were talking about when there were reports of an X Factor movie. I believe the trades broke that there was an X Factor movie. And then people were like, oh shit, X Factor, that's probably the next Deadpool movie. That's probably that ensemble movie that we heard about where Deadpool was cooking with Cable, Wolverine, and maybe the new Storm. Remember we talked about all of this? So the reason I think Daniel said what he said about Deadpool 4 is he is delineating the Deadpool 4 and the X-Force thing. At least I hope that's what it is. Because if that's what it is, then it means within the next year after Secret Wars, maybe within the next 2 years, we're going to get an X-Men project, we're going to get an X-Force project, and we're probably going to get an Exiles project, which is likely Deadpool 4, which will be multiversal in some way. That is, like, I'm speculating, but again, I'm sort of reading the tea leaves here. A lot of these guys, they follow the scooping and rumor mill. Daniel will often chime in to clarify things or to debunk things that are going on within that conversation. And that's what this feels like. So it feels like Ryan Reynolds, Cynthia Erivo, Storm, Hugh Jackman, and all of those homies likely going to be Deadpool 4. And X-Force is serious. And X-Force is his new thing, and it's awesome. And like, to me, dude, this is a dream come true. I was super concerned that the X-Force movie would have Deadpool in it and be a little too goofy. The Deadpool movies, that's fine. You can do that there. And I appreciate the Deadpool movies for what they are. And I'm sure they'll cook, and I'm sure it'll be really fun, right? But actual X-Force in the rebooted or reset MCU, while there's a new X-Men team, nah, dog, that should be clean. That should be clean fun. That should be super hyped up. And it could possibly explain why we heard maybe Wolverine's not part of that team. Maybe there's 2 Wolverines, including a 616, and maybe you have that Wolverine in the X-Force movie. Man, I think that would be really, really cool. So there you have it, guys. Just a few small updates about what is going on with the X-Men. Obviously, after Secret Wars, it is the phase of the mutants and it is the phase of the X-Men. And by the way, you know, we were just sort of fooling around talking about Dragon Ball and all that. X-Men is a thing that can actually stand up to Dragon Ball. Like, X-Men is that exciting, that hyped up, that cool. So X-Men, brilliant direction for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to go in after Secret Wars. Really hoping that these new reports speak to the quality, the consideration, and also a good plan in which, you know, Reynolds kind of continues to do his thing. Like, let him work with Daphne and Chan and all of them. Like, you know, do more of that and then establish the new with an X-Force team. I'm excited about that. I think that would be really, really great. So that's it. What do you make of this, chat? Do you have any questions, comments, concerns? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on all of this, huh? Goofy X-Men, please no. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, man, is like I appreciate what Ryan has done for the comic book movie genre. He absolutely kills it as Deadpool. But I'm concerned. I'm just concerned, man. I'm already concerned that this dude is going to be in these next 2 Avengers movies. Like, yo, I'm already a little concerned about that. I would be super concerned to then go from that and then he's in the X-Force movie as well. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Good to see the non-toxic Dragon Ball fans have arrived. I don't know what that means. What are you saying? What are you even saying right now? What does that mean? Yes, you do? No, I don't. Josh, did you hear about Mark Ruffalo getting fired from Disney? Is that true? No, I don't think so. I mean, dude, that Mark Ruffalo thing is interesting because it blew up so much. Like, there was like 100,000 likes on it, you know? And that's crazy because as far as I understand, it's zero truth to that. Like, literally zero truth. It would be funny. It would be wild. It would definitely be news. But we live in a world where, like, some rando account quote tweets some other rando account, and then it just pops the fuck off. I don't really understand why, but, like, no, guys. No. So is Doom just going to live in the new Marvel universe like nothing happened? I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't think so. That's not how I would utilize Doom as a character. And if the comics are any sign of what they'll do, Doom will be one of the people that remembers Secret Wars. Are you watching Wonder Man tonight? I'm interested in it low-key. I'm high-key not interested in it in any way, shape, or form, and I will not be watching it. But I hope you like it. Saw like 5 different accounts on IG get millions of views on it. I swear IG and Facebook are completely different world. Bro, it is weird over there, huh? It is weird over there. What a world. Do you think we are getting our first look at RDJ Doom during the Super Bowl? I do think so. I have not watched all of One Piece. I'm in like the 300s, and I gave up. There's so much. It's good. I like it. I understand why people love it. But I can't do that. 700 more episodes before they reveal the One Piece? Nah. IGN sucks. Overrated. I don't know where that came from. What did we talk about IGN? Have we said anything about IGN? They say Wonder Man is really good. I think that's cool. I mean, I'm glad that it's going to be really entertaining and really good, and you know, seems to have good effects and good acting. The 27 people that watch the show will really appreciate the time and the energy and the craftsmanship that went into it. Josh, are there any Doomsday Lego sets that you're particularly excited to see? So the old man Tobey Maguire's bad back gets ripped out by Thanos set seems quite appealing to me. Yeah. 28? Okay, 28 people. Sorry. They also said Spider-Man 2 PS5 was bad. Who is they? Oh, you're talking about IGN. Oh, okay. That's where it came from, the IGN. What, IGN said Wonder Man's good? Is that what's up? Is that what's going on? Is that what's up? No, that's funny. That is funny. This agenda, Toby will stay. Yeah, no, I'm a bit of an asshole, you know? I'm sorry. I mean, I really am sorry. I wish I was different, but I also got to be me. So get a box of tissues, because I'm going to make you cry. My dog has better takes than IGN. Fair. You know, say that. A lot of people said Wonder Man is good. My question is, will we ever see him pop up again? Yeah, I heard he's in Doomsday, and it's really important, so you should all watch the show. You're going to put some dirt in our eye to make us cry? Exactly, dude. That Bully Maguire. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You don't say that, Justin. Maybe put some dirt in here. Exactly. See? All you Toby fans, you get it. You know all the references, and you're going to cry when he dies. Pre-hate makes the irony hit harder. Fair. Yeah, fair. I think Wonder Man will be good, but still not what Marvel is. Yeah, fair. As long as we see Bully Maguire before he dies, hell yeah. You should get a soundboard for sound effects, Josh. That's not a bad idea. I've had some in the past. I missed the part where that's my problem. The real question is, what about Blade? Yeah, that is an interesting question. I mean, right now they're saying Midnight Suns for Mahershala. But, yeah. Josh, I wasn't here at the beginning. How much snow did you get? I think we only got, like, around between, like, 7 to 10. It was bad, but it wasn't, like, crazy. And we kind of over-prepared. You know? So we were just stockpiled on food and blankets and just chilling. Just chilling. Josh, people will pay you to insult them online. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Wait, you're still streaming? I left an hour ago to go make lunch. Yeah, well, we're pretty much wrapping it up here. It's been a good stream. You know, I had fun. I hope you guys had fun, you know. 10, that would have shut us down for a month. Yeah, but I live like in the north, you know. I mean, I'm from the north. We're good. We're good up here. You'll be eating milk sandwiches all week as long as they come out of a nice pair of milk jugs. 2 feet is crazy. 2 feet is pretty crazy. Near the wall, exactly. Viking, exactly. I got 24 inches and it ain't snow. Uh-oh, Tom, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's end that segment there. Oh, man, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. If you missed some of the topics, I'll be dropping several of them tonight on the Clips channel. Maybe a couple of them tomorrow, because I think we did a lot of topics today. But anyway, yeah, we'll get back on that. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll be back at it Thursday. Friday, it is a members-only stream, and I will be day drinking, not beero. I will be day drinking actual adult beverages. It is going to get wild. I will probably get canceled, and we're putting it behind a paywall. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you Thursday. I'll see you Friday. Big video dropping tomorrow, too. Appreciate y'all, man. Much love, man. Much love. As I always